Oh, we're talking Warriors. Oh yeah, right. It wasn't even Steve Kerr that disappointed me the most tonight. It wasn't any of the Warriors players. It wasn't assistant coaches. Who else can we blame? Front office, ownership. You know who I'm most disappointed in tonight? Those feckless, worthless fans at Chase Center. I didn't hear one boo. I didn't hear one symbol of displeasure, of dissatisfaction. Just a bunch of wine and cheese snobs, tech bros, in attendance because that's the trendy thing to do in the city, bro, aka San Francisco. These are dark times for the Golden State Warriors. And it doesn't help that the folks sustaining it financially are not real fans. They're just elitist D-bags who only care about, the moment. In this case, we're at a Warriors game. Who cares how it's going? Who cares? They're playing the Lakers. Yay. Folks, if fans don't express displeasure and you have an ownership group that's suddenly at an apathetic stage of ownership, where's the incentive for change? How are we ever going to see anything different? Shame on you. And when I say you, I mean every single person that was at Chase Center tonight, at least in the lower deck, because we can't hear you that well if you're in the upper deck. Embarrassing. So was the Warriors' performance. They lost this game tonight in blown out fashion. 129-101 the final. And it gets better. We had no Kristaps Porzingis in tonight's game. We don't know what his future status is. Steve Kerr's apologizing for his ignorant statements that we covered yesterday with Armando Laura on Happy Hour regarding the POTS, and Kerr coming out saying, it's not POTS, it's misinformation. Yeah, we'll play the soundbite where he backtracked heavily on that. Who knows what's going on, but he ain't playing. We've only seen Kristaps Porzingis in one game so far. Great trade. Friendly reminder, when Brandon Podziemski plays, a good team, he does nothing. I think in his entire career, and I don't think I'm being hyperbolic saying this. I don't think I'm exaggerating saying this. Here, in fact, I'm going to ask ChatGPT a question live on the show. Here's my ChatGPT question. Let's see if this, speaking of worthless, in addition to the Chase Center crowd, in addition to the Warriors head coach, I also think ChatGPT is worthless, grossly overrated, just like Brandon Podziemski and Steve Kerr. Let me ask this question. Hey, ChatGPT, can you provide me Brandon Podziemski statistics when his Golden State Warriors play an above 500 team? Let's see if we can get those numbers. I'm curious. Let's see if ChatGPT can provide that information. Nope, he can't because ChatGPT sucks. Well, I'm going to guess those numbers are not very good because, again, outside of one fourth quarter earlier this season against the Nuggets where he just miraculously made literally every shot after starting 1 for 10 through the first 3 quarters for 3 points. You take that 1 fourth quarter away a couple weeks ago against the Nuggets. He is worthless against elite opposition. If the opponent is good, he ain't. If the opponent is like Brooklyn, the Kings, all right, yeah. You might see him produce something. And there are two silver linings from this blowout tonight. Blowout loss by your Golden State Warriors, a team going nowhere. One is this Nate Williams guy, their two-way player. I'm intrigued. It's kind of sad that in 2026, the Warriors' two-way players are more intriguing to me than just about anyone with a guaranteed contract on this team, not named Guy Santos. Side note, congratulations, Guy Santos, getting a 3-year, $15 million contract extension earlier today. That was some good news, but that wasn't in the game. That was before the game. But outside of maybe Guy Santos, maybe Will Richard, but even he got hurt today, injured an ankle very early in this game. Hopefully that's not too serious. The most intriguing part of this Warriors team are their two-way guys. One of them we still haven't seen in meaningful minutes. That's LJ Cryer, who I'm going to safely assume is already better than Brandon Podziemski. Certainly would excite the fan base a hell of a lot more if we were seeing LJ Cryer with the type of paternal love Steve Kerr gives to Brandon Podziemski. But Nate Williams is intriguing. We'll talk about him a little bit. Kid looks like, I say kid, he's another guy who, by NBA standards, is middle age. He's 27, but there's something there. But outside of a new two-way guy, the only other silver lining from this one was if the Warriors' goal is to tank, and that's the only logic here, congrats. You took a step toward the right direction losing this game tonight. But we know the Warriors aren't trying to do that. This is just an absolute shit show. And we're going to talk about it because that's Warriors basketball for you. It's Saturday night. I hope you're having a wonderful Saturday night. We're powered by FanDuel. The program's called the Golden Days. Let's go. Yeah. Saturday. What's up, everybody? Riz in the chat. I don't like Stevie Kerr, courtesy of Riz. Bravo. I don't like him right now. Dude's making nearly $20 million to do what? Show favoritism? Like, what are we doing here, man? What is going on with the Warriors? Does Joe Lacob even care? Or is he checked out because he wants to buy the San Diego Padres? I don't know what's going on with the Warriors. It's embarrassing. Tonight, no exception to that. 129-101 the final, a game where the Lakers led by as much as 32. They were in control of this game from beginning to end, outscoring the Warriors 33-20 in the first quarter. The Warriors try to keep it close. Losing the second quarter by only 5 points, but still, by that point, the Lakers were up by 18 at the half. They build that lead to 27 by the end of the third, and then the rest is history. And it came down largely to poor shooting. Tim Legler, one of the two color analysts in this game, the only one that was unbiased, because if you listen to Richard Jefferson talk and if you watch his post on social media, you know he is grossly biased towards Steve Kerr. I guess that is a massive issue in general when it comes to media coverage of this Golden State Warriors team. The bias is sickening. It's so deep and so obvious. No one even tries to hide it. Since when did biased media coverage become acceptable? We were once supposed to get biased media coverage from the teams themselves. Now we're getting it from media organizations that are supposed to be impartial, neutral. But no, they all have a Steve Kerr bias. Part of it is Steve Kerr was once in the media game himself, befriended a shitload of people. Now, if you're a media professional, are you supposed to let those friendships affect your coverage? No, it's unethical. But you also see how pathetic the media scene is because the bias is deep. It's real. And Richard Jefferson, no exception to that. Richard Jefferson actually praised Brandon Podziemski in this game tonight, very early in the game, but he was like, this team has some potential stars. D'Anthony Melton's a great player. I think Brandon Podziemski, who knows what he's going to end up being. There's certain things I can safely predict about the future. One of those, Podziemski, future star, maybe a future role player somewhere. Definition of mid. Yeah, that's the guy that Steve Kerr values the most. And if you're a Golden Dazer, if you watch this show regularly, we previewed the fact that tonight was game one of a brutal 4-game stretch for the Warriors. They host the Lakers tonight. Then they host the LA Clippers Monday. That game carries a lot of weight in terms of the Warriors' postseason aspirations, no pun intended, because the Warriors and Clippers, I believe, are separated by a game or two in the play-in seedings. And then the Warriors go on the road for a 2-game road trip at Houston and at OKC. 3-game road trip, technically, but the first 2 games of that road trip, again, Houston, OKC, and then they're at Utah, and then they host Chicago. So they get a nice little 2-game stretch where the opposition is more on their level. How sad is that to say? So this was game one of a brutal 4-game stretch. And I'm on the FanDuel Sportsbook right now, our official sponsor, who at least I am eternally grateful for because they're keeping the lights on a season that's getting dark fast. They don't have a line currently available for Monday's Warriors-Clippers game at Chase Center, but I am intrigued to see what they think about the Warriors in terms of future prospects. Last couple times I've checked in terms of win totals on the season, there has not been a line. The last time there was a line, it was 41.5. There is currently no line. You FanDuel's prognosticators, the geniuses in the lab who control the lines for literally every game, even they can't figure this team out. 1 minute they think, oh, well, because they're also factoring in public sentiment. And 1 minute they're like, oh, well, maybe this team can, finish above 500 with some hope for the postseason. And then the next minute they're like, too unpredictable. We're just not going to touch it because they don't want to get taken advantage of by a savvy gambler who sees them make a mistake, put down the house financially, and then hurt their pocketbook. The Warriors dropped to 31-29 after this one. Let's see what the latest title odds are for the folks out there who are still delusional enough to think that the Golden State Warriors have a shot at anything. If you want to bet on the Warriors to win the whole thing, a 5th championship for Stephen Curry. Side note, got some bad news about that as well. The line currently plus 25,000. I'm going to guess those are the lowest odds for the Warriors to win the title outside of the 1920 season and Steve Kerr's tenure as head coach of this squad. Those are tremendously low odds. And so for anyone out there who is a Warriors fanboy, meaning they're biased, they're homers, they're cheerleaders, all they want to do is just stick to positivity for this team, which I'm sure is becoming a massive challenge. Put your money where your mouth is. If you're gonna be a strongly opinionated clown out there talking about the Warriors still being legitimate, back it up. Plus 25,000. Why not? As Rick Barry said, tonight was a shit game. Paid chat. Let's get into this. The Family Man just dropping $1.99. You did not follow that with words. What were you trying to tell me? What were you trying to tell me, Family Man? Let me see if you wrote anything that followed that up, because I don't want you to have to pay twice. The Family Man saying I need to get on this chat, meaning you want to come on the show, not the chat. I'll post the link in just a second. I'll post it now. Why not? Well, no. Give me a second, because there are a few things I do need to cover before I start hearing from you folks who I'm sure have a lot of things on your mind. We'll get to the audience in just a second. We haven't even decided on who the FanDuel player of the game is. And I promise you, Family Man, the link will come very soon. Another paid chat really quickly while I'm on that note. Danielle Bordgaray, $5, writing, it's so hard for me to watch this team play. They're so boring to watch. I'm so sick of Brandon Podziemski. Not one person is franchise face worthy. To me, that guy was Kuminga. And now he's on the Atlanta Hawks. And the Warriors gave him up for a player that will apparently never be available. I feel your pain. One soundbite on the Kristaps Porzingis front that I want to play on the show. And this happened before the game. Steve Kerr addressed the media. I don't have a high quality version of this. We're going to play what Anthony Slater uploaded on social media earlier. Ryan Leong is going to join us from Chase Center in a little bit. And I gave him some grief because typically his Bay Area Sports Wrap YouTube channel uploads Steve Kerr press conferences from pregame. Tonight was the one game where he came late because he was at the Sharks game earlier. And so we don't have a clean feed. So forgive the audio being kind of crappy here. But tune in, turn up the volume so that you can hear Steve Kerr with a foot in his mouth. In case you're wondering, what are you talking about? He backtracked on what he said on the radio just 24 hours ago when he said that the POTS diagnosis applied to Kristaps Porzingis was misinformation. Was it? Well, who knows? But Kerr is now expressing regret about ever even talking about it. And here was Kerr during pregame. Again, turn the volume up a little bit on your devices so you can hear the head coach of the Golden State Warriors, a man who makes nearly $20 million a year, so he can tell the ownership and fans that Brandon Podziemski is the best player on this team. Here's Steve Kerr.
Great day.
What's the latest on Porzingis?
He won't play today. He's sick, and so he'll be out, and we'll see about Monday. We're not sure yet.
What more can or can't you say about what he's dealing with right now?
I can't really say anything. Just it's a medical issue way beyond my my capabilities of explaining anything. So yeah, he's sick. He won't play, and we'll keep monitoring him.
Just a follow up on the radio. You said yesterday that his POTS diagnosis is misinformation. What is he dealing with right now? Related, unrelated to POTS? What is the misinformation?
It was a stupid mistake by me to talk about something that I'm not qualified to talk about. So I regretted even trying to discuss the diagnosis. That was my mistake, and I need to leave that to the professionals.
You think? In case you missed that last part, here is Steve Kerr again admitting he was dumb to discuss Kristaps Porzingis' health and call the POTS diagnosis misinformation. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. This storyline, which is a total side note to the overall regular season picture, but it's even more muddled than ever. I'd love to hear from Shams because Kerr literally called his reporting misinformation.
What is he dealing with right now? Related, unrelated to POTS? What is the misinformation?
It was a stupid mistake by me to talk about something that I'm not qualified to talk about. So I regretted even trying to discuss the diagnosis. That was my mistake, and I need to leave that to the professionals.
So there you go. Steve Kerr saying it was a stupid mistake to discuss Porzingis' health. The whole thing was weird. You could smell the bullshit through a digital screen. It was weird. It's just, what is he doing? Why? Well, I don't even know why he went there. But nonetheless, Kristaps Porzingis, for those of you who came into the post-trade deadline Warriors with some excitement because you thought, oh, look, the Warriors got a big. They got a big with a mysterious ailment that forces him to miss most of the season. Yay! Barber, where you at, man? Because you and I were supposed to have a debate about this, and I'm still waiting. Now, the other piece of really shitty news, it gets better. Woo! Side note, and I want to actually correct someone here, and maybe this correction is a slight uptick in information. Poison Clan, longtime loyal Golden Dazer, appreciate you writing. Will Richard got hated on again in Poison. Side note, I love your DMs that you send me. They're a good laugh. Poison Clan writing, Will Richard got hated on again with minutes. Quick correction here. He actually wasn't. He suffered an ankle injury very early in this game and did not come back. We don't know what the status is in terms of how serious the injury is. Hopefully we see Will Richard again soon. But he suffered an ankle injury. And I actually missed that part of the game. So I don't know if like he rolled it or I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on there in terms of the seriousness of it. But Will Richard rolled an ankle. Now, the last piece of shitty news to disseminate with you is Stephen Curry, who the Warriors, side note, whenever they give their timelines for reevaluations, those timelines are utter bullshit because they keep saying they're going to reevaluate, for example, Seth Curry in 2 weeks. And usually the average timeline to get a reevaluation is 3 weeks. So it's completely artificial. It's arbitrary in terms of how long these things are going to take. Stephen Curry was supposed to be reevaluated in 10 days from when that press release was first sent out. And then the Warriors were saying they're going to provide an update tomorrow, Sunday. So that's about 8 or 9 days after the last report. Now, the shitty news, the very bad news there is, even though we're not going to get that update until tomorrow, what Stephen Curry told Malika Andrews in an in-game interview with her late, and I don't have the multimedia for that yet, and truth is, if I play that, I might get flagged for copyright, so I'll just tell you verbatim what he said. Stephen Curry told Malika Andrews in the fourth quarter of tonight's game during the ESPN broadcast on ABC, the Warriors playing this embarrassing game, putting out an abysmal product for the whole world to see. At least the Laker fans got their rocks off tonight. Yay! So Steph told Malika Andrews, quote, I haven't gotten on the court yet, but just trying to stay in shape and strengthen everything else around my body, knowing that at this stage, once you get back, it's a full sprint to the playoffs. I'll read that to you one more time. Quote, this is Stephen Curry. Quote, I haven't gotten on the court yet, but just trying to stay in shape and strengthen everything else around my body, knowing that at this stage, once you get back, it's a full sprint to the playoffs. Quote ends there. I think he said some other things too, but the fact that he hasn't been on the court yet, he ain't coming back. Not anytime soon. Hamza in her chat saying KP is never playing. When you say KP, do you really mean
Tingus Pingus? What the fuck did they do? Who the fuck is this? Who the fuck is Tingus Pingus? I never heard of fucking Latvia. You drafted this fucking kid. You stupid motherfuckers, you.
All you got to do in this case is replace signed or drafted with, hold on, what was the verbiage? I got to hear it again just to get it
What
right.
the fuck did they do? Who the fuck is this? Who the fuck is Tingus Pingus? I never heard of fucking Latvia. You drafted this fucking kid. You stupid motherfuckers, you.
So all you got to do is replace drafted with traded. Maybe I'll do a little edit. Maybe a Chat GPT can come through for me there if I upload that video. Hey, Chat GPT, can you just tweak out, replace the word drafted with traded, and then it's a Warriors clip. Trace McKendall in the chat saying, I still think that's funny. Agreed. It is, because it is. Our FanDuel player of the game. It really is apropos if you just swap out the word drafted with traded.
What the fuck did they do? Who the fuck is this? Who the fuck is Tingus Pingus? I never heard of fucking Latvia. You drafted this fucking kid. You stupid motherfuckers, you.
The Warriors traded Kuminga for him. Why? What the hell? What are you doing? What is going on here? What is going on? You traded Kuminga, who, God damn it. God damn it. Shooties Smokehouse in the chat. I can't wait for Shooties to blow up. Shooties will be the title sponsor of this show someday. That's my prediction. Writing, we went from gold-blooded to old-blooded. Oh! Tracy McKendall writing, never heard of Latvia. It's not Latvia. It's Latvia. I never heard of this Latvia. No, it's actually Latvia, but surely heard of the Congo, where Jonathan Kuminga is from, is his home country. Our FanDuel player of the game. I have no idea who is worthy of this honor. I haven't studied the box score until just now, and goddamn, is it ugly. I think you folks need to see this for yourself if you're watching this on YouTube. Let me set it up for you here. Oh, this is quite possibly the ugliest box score of the Steve Kerr era. Take a look for yourselves if you're watching on YouTube. I'll run it down for the podcast audience. Here's the box score. This is your typical media box score. This is the one the players look at after every game, in case you ever see the players like staring at the during the press conference setting at a box score at the numbers. This is what they're looking at. This is what the sheet looks like. And I'm looking at the point totals right now. The point totals for your Golden State Warriors in this right-hand column. I guess it's got to be Guy Santos as their player of the game for the simple reason that he not only led the Warriors in scoring tonight, but he also got a new contract extension. Bravo. 3 years, $15 million. The dude's got $5 million a year. You can allocate that money appropriately to set you up for life. Something tells me that money's worth even more in Brazil. Congratulations. $15 million in the bank, invested wisely, skimp out on as many taxes as you can, claim Brazil as your home residency, although I think it's going to be a California tax because you work here technically, but still. So Guy Santos tonight in 27 minutes and 17 seconds. 14 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists on 50% shooting. Your FanDuel player of the game. The other candidates, second in scoring tonight, Moses Moody and GP2. Moses Moody had 12 points in 29 minutes and 47 seconds of play. It was 4 of 10 from deep. That's good. That's 40%. That's actually great. Added 3 rebounds, 3 assists, had 2 steals, and 2 turnovers. Draymond Green. Oh, in case you missed it, and I accidentally noticed this, Draymond replied to me on Threads on last night or 2 nights ago. It was 2 nights ago. And I totally missed this until someone got a screen capture of this on Twitter. And they're like, look what Draymond's saying on Threads. Because and I've said this on the show repeatedly, Draymond Green, especially after games, meaning maybe even right now, but most likely like an hour or two. Usually he's doing this when he's at home. He gets on Threads and just starts replying and posting, and that's his happy hour. Maybe we should call that's his KD hour. And he engages with a shitload of people. This is nothing new. But if we switch over to my Threads account for just a second here, and we scroll down, I posted a clip that we shared on the show already. Right here, the Quinn Snyder clip of him talking about Jonathan Kuminga after his second game, right? We all heard that. And Draymond replied to this, and I totally missed it. Right here, Draymond Green replying to my Threads post. And here's let me set it up for you. I wrote in the Threads post, quote, here's Atlanta Hawks head coach Quinn Snyder describing what he's seeing from new player Jonathan Kuminga following his second game with the team. The contrast in hearing a real coach talk about JK is astounding. Warriors desperately need new leadership, unquote. So yeah, I threw in some opinions there in the second paragraph. I don't care. It's social media. Well, Draymond Green replied, writing, so the coach with 4 rings and 1 Olympic gold as an assistant, like that matters, and 1 as a head coach isn't a real coach? Come on now. A, Dre, appreciate you. Thank you for the free advertising. And B, I've said this before and I'll say it again. When you start having to list someone's resume, that's when you know you're in trouble. Joe Lacob just did this recently too, in defense of Steve Kerr. Having to dip into the resume. Like, we don't know this shit. All I said to Dre is thank you, love you. That's because, what else am I going to do? This is, and again, Steve Kerr, bravo. You earned the trust of arguably the 2 most important Warriors players, Stephen Curry and Draymond Green. With Dre here in that trust because he's had his back every step of the way. The Jordan Poole incident, probably the most glaring and obvious, but they've been through wars together. 1 Olympic gold as an assistant. What are we talking about here, man? That is some comedy. As an assistant. I think Dre was on that team, right? The 2021 Olympic team. As an assistant. Dre was publicly criticizing Kerr for DNPing Jason Tatum. I love it. My only question is, like, when he's doing this, does he have a little buzz going with wine, or so? No, because we all know he took up LeBron James' passion of being a wine connoisseur, and I'm gonna guess yes. Anyways, Dre, love you. Well, we're talking about Dre because you go back to the box score, and there's been this running pattern lately of the Warriors losing pretty much every time Draymond Green plays. And tonight, no exception. He played 23 minutes, 55 seconds, another triple single. I did not get a chance to watch Inside the NBA tonight, obviously, because we're live right now, and I can see that show already ended. But Charles Barkley always loves going back to the triple singles. He coined that phrase. And Dre had another one of those. 3 of 8 from the field, 1 for 5 from deep. Did have 6 rebounds and 6 assists, so at least he was active out there. Did have 2 turnovers, no steals, no blocks. Draymond Green's final box score, 7 points, 6 boards, 6 assists, 20% from deep. And a minus 30 in net rating. The starting unit reflecting where everything went wrong for the Warriors tonight. Moody minus 25, Guy Santos minus 22, Draymond Green minus 30, DeAnthony Melton minus 25, Brandon Podziemski minus 20. Why did Kerr even roll with this starting lineup? Lately, he'd been starting Al Horford at center and Draymond at the 4. Why did he ditch that strategy tonight? I don't know. It didn't work, though. And then Pods, huge surprise, led the team in minutes again, Make that make sense. As usual, lays a big, fat, stinking pile of fly-ridden shit when he plays a good team. If that isn't the evidence you need that this guy should not be leading your team in minutes unless you're tanking. I don't know what is. 4 of 12 from the field tonight. 0 of 6 from deep. 0 of 6 from deep. He doesn't play defense effectively. He doesn't shoot effectively. So why is he leading your team in minutes? A triple single for Brandon Podziemski tonight. 9 points, 7 boards, 6 assists. At least he got 6 assists. So not a total wash, but why does he lead the team in minutes? Make that make sense. So Guy Santos again. Congratulations on the contract extension. Our FanDuel player of the game. And just a few more things in the box score. Again, on a night where you had your leading scorer drop 14. Your leading minute getter couldn't even score in double figures. GP2 coming off the bench tonight, dropped 12 points. He has turned into an A-list cutter. A A-list backdoor cutter. That's a nice sequence of words to spit out. Backdoor cutter. GP2 backdoor cutter. 6 of 10 from the field. Those were almost all layups. In fact, he was 6 of 7 from the field, taking out 3-point shots. He was 0 of 3 from deep, 1 rebound, 3 assists, 2 steals, 12 points. And again, Will Richard tonight was playing efficiently to start the game. He was 2 of 3 from the field, 4 points in his 4 minutes and 32 seconds. But then he had the ankle injury, and that was that for Will Richard. Al Horford, again, why he did not start tonight did anyone ask Steve Kerr? We'll find out. We'll go to the press conference in a little bit. But Big Al, in 22 minutes and 9 seconds, did not have an awful game, not a great game, but it wasn't terrible. He was one of the only guys tonight shooting it efficiently from the field. Him, Moses Moody, and Nate Williams had some okay shooting numbers. So did D'Anthony Melton, actually. Melton, real fast, I didn't read his numbers. And again, Melton, one of my favorite players on this team, one of the only guys who looks like a real basketball player, 10 points, 4 assists, and a board. He was 2 of 5 from deep. That's 40%. Moses Moody was 4 of 10 from deep. That's 40%. Al Horford, 2 of 3 from deep. That's 66.7%. Nate Williams, the two-way player, 1 of 2 from deep. That's 50%. That's not bad. But then you look at the rest of the shooters from deep. Guy Santos, 2 of 7. That's okay. That's like 28, 29%. It's not awful, but it's not good. It is bad, but it's not awful. Draymond, 1 for 5 from deep. Now we're approaching awful. Brandon Podziemski, 0 of 6 from deep. That is literally as awful as it gets. It can only get worse with additional 3-point attempts. 0 of 6, 0%. GP2, 0 of 3, 0%. Quentin Post, 0 of 2, 0%. The Malachi Leons in garbage time had a 3-point attempt as well. Why did Malachi Leons only make an appearance in garbage time? Again, would be a great question for Steve Kerr. We'll find out in a second if anyone asked him that. Something tells me no, because our media scene is awful. The only thing the media here asks of Steve Kerr is the Olay bullshit.
Don't give me this Olay bullshit.
Yeah, that's all they give you. That's all the media does. Just Olay questions. Again, Ryan Leong is going to join us in a little bit. This is bad. In the timeline of Warriors lore, today was a dark day. Today was very reminiscent of the torture that Dub Nation experienced for 30 plus years before Stephen Curry. And then AC bringing up the most depressing part of all this, that there are no young guys to develop. It's easy to stomach your team being bad and losing consistently when there is something to look forward to. And that's something to look forward to typically are young players. Talent who has a shitload of room to grow. So you can anticipate, follow along, and hopefully jump on the ride when they achieve that potential being maximized. This team has none of that. Who are we excited for? What does the future hold? This is depressing. This is bad. I'll post the link now to if I've said enough. Let's invite folks on the show if anybody wants to join. The link is available in the chat. So the family man who dropped the $1.99 earlier because they wanted to be a part of this show, you now can be. The door is open. As we wait for Ryan Leong to join us from Chase Center, he'll provide some added insights. Ryan, I believe right now is interviewing LeBron James. No exaggeration. It's a perk of his job. Bad hombre. Been a second since we've had you on the show. Great to see you. Or at least, how are you doing?
Cyrus, I'm good. How are you?
Doing okay, thanks. Thanks for asking.
Those 10 o'clock games kill me, so I just hang out in the chat.
All good, all good. How do you feel about tonight?
Well, the chat was on fire. The game was garbage. I turned it off in the first quarter because I knew what was going to happen.
You reminded me of one more thing I want to say real fast. You don't have to go anywhere, bad hombre, and it's not anything disgraceful, but I think it's important. I was at my grocery store earlier today, and the butcher there and I have befriended each other. Both of us, nearly lifelong surfers, and he's also a huge Warriors fan. And so every time I see him, we start shooting the shit for a while. And what he told me today was representative of the lowest of lows for the Warriors. Because I asked him, I'm like, dude, are you going to watch the Warriors-Lakers game this afternoon? And he just gave me a look and started laughing. And he goes, is Steph coming back anytime soon? And I'm like, I don't know. I have no idea. He goes, yeah, who gives a shit? Who gives a shit about this team? I don't care. I want Kerr gone. If Steph's not playing, I don't even know what to get excited about. And we're at that level of Warriors basketball. The apathy is kicking in. It ain't good. This is not good. What is Joe Lacob doing, that hombre? What do you think is going on there?
I have no idea. This isn't an NBA roster. I said in the chat, a lot of these guys will be out of the league in 2 years. But I wanted to tell you this because it's been a while. So during the All-Star break, I was at the Knicks. This guy, he does the Knicks games. So I was in his chat because I was trying to get an outsider's perspective of what's going on over here. And I was asking him, what other player in the NBA can get you 34-9 while guarding the other team's best player? And the only person that we could come up with was maybe Jaylen Brown, possibly. And I told him, well, we just traded someone who could. So this is just where we are. We probably traded our best player. The game is unwatchable, but the chat, I'm glad the chat in here was on fire. So it's just bad. Yeah, during the game, people said that your chat during the game is more exciting than the actual game itself. That's how bad it is.
I'm glad that scene is lively. Good stuff.
Cyrus, the Lakers weren't really trying. They weren't really trying. They were probably going 60%. They could have won by 40. They were just half-assing, just trying crazy passes. I don't know what's going on, but this is not an NBA roster. I don't know who's to blame, Kerr, the de facto GM, or Dunleavy.
Kerr.
These guys are going to be out of the league soon. All of them, most of them, except maybe for Moody. The only person that may be in the league is Moody. Maybe possibly Will Richards. Everybody else, I'm not sure. 2 years from now.
Melton.
What about his injury? You think he'll still be in the league?
DeAnthony Melton?
Oh yeah.
Is a very good player, man. And I know I know he didn't have a good shooting night tonight, 3 of 12 from the field, but he was still 2 of 5 from deep at least. And any other team, he's going to play a valuable role. With this Warriors team, he might be the best player on the team, and that's not. You don't want him to be your best player.
No,
if he's like your 5th best, 7th best, something like that. Yeah, sure, but he should not be your best player, and yet that's the position the Warriors are in right now. I don't know who's better. Like, who would you say is their best player right now? Is it Moody? Is it Gee? Draymond?
Their best player right now. We got to give it to Moody only because he showed up in the playoffs a couple of games.
He has a ring.
That's the only one by default. So
he has a ring at least. He was playing some.
But,
yeah.
I'm also worried about the leadership on this team, Cyrus. I said this a while ago. That Slater article, what stood out to me was when Slater said that JK thought that Jimmy was his mentor. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute, he just got here. Why isn't Steph and Draymond mentoring this kid and saying, hey, we need you to try to win a chip? Why did they wait? Why did Jimmy have to play that role, a mentor? And I don't want to hear anything about they played the same position.
I think Dre tried, but Dre is also too loyal to Kerr. And he's too loyal to Kerr, man. That's a massive blemish on his resume.
And another thing, when I question the leadership on the team, these vets, they need to check pods. Like the Minnesota game when he was chirping with Ant, man, the real leaders on his team should have pulled him to the side and say, look, this guy, Olympic gold medal, one of the best players in the game. You don't say shit to him. But no, they just let him continue doing it. So I don't know. This team is devoid of leadership. Mm-hmm. And I had to look at Steph. I had to look at Draymond because, like, he wanted to say, 4 rings, blah, blah, blah. Then, Dre, we need you to be a leader and show these kids what it takes to win a chip. And I don't see it. That's why the games aren't watchable. I mean, we have to watch this. Why should Steph come back for this? It's like a burning house.
Well, Cam in the chat was saying pump up the GoFundMe. And I'd forgotten about that. You never emailed it to me, but I did find your Twitter account. And let me put up the QR code for this. In case you have not been following along with the GoFundMe that one of our listeners has now launched. He wants to sit right behind Kerr, and he wants to be one of the only genuine fans at Chase Center who are not just there for the wine and cheese and to be seen, but actually cares about the fortunes of the Golden State Warriors as a team itself playing basketball. And where's my share screen? So I'm going to share this right now. So he has a GoFundMe, and I strongly encourage you to donate anything you can to this. I know times are tough right now, economically speaking, but clearly some of you do have money, about half of you. And if any of those half of you out there who are still prospering in this crazy world we're living in right now can afford to help Cam out and to have some dissension where it's desperately needed, instead of being an absolute ass-kissing Homer cheerleader fan like Arnold in our chat, donate. Let's send someone there who actually gives a shit and actually knows basketball, instead of just the casual Steve Kerr kiss-assers who have infiltrated Chase Center with their dollars so they could basically price out all the true fans. It's disgusting. Yeah.
So I just want to say one last thing, then I'll drop off. I know you probably got a lot of people.
I do. Yeah, I do. But
when I said that Pods was just Steve Kerr on the Bulls, I was actually giving him a compliment. I don't know if a lot of these people, they may be younger, I don't know if they saw Steve Kerr on the Bulls, but he was legit. But he wasn't going to take Ron Harper's minutes.
No.
Coming off the bench, maybe 10, 15 minutes, give you 10 to 12 points, and that's it. That was a compliment, but I'm saying I see that as his ceiling, which I think is actually a good thing. I'm not trying to insult him when I said that. That's all I wanted to say. But keep up the good work, and I'm gonna drop off and listen.
Before you go, how are you doing in life, man?
I'm doing
good.
Everything is great. Like I said, I already pre-ordered my Magic City hoodie. I couldn't resist that.
Expensive though, right?
Yeah, so I couldn't resist it. So I think I just want to troll Warriors fans because they were trying to gaslight for years.
Talking about the Atlanta Hawks Monday night are doing this marketing campaign with a strip club in Atlanta called Magic City, and they're selling these hoodies that have caught fire. Man, people want them.
They're sold out.
But they're like $125, right?
Yeah. The only sizes they had left when I checked were 3X and small. Everything else was already sold out. So,
by the way, this is the QR code right here, and I'm going to showcase this a lot. This is for the GoFundMe, so we could send a true Warriors fan to sit right behind Steve Kerr and let him know how the real fans of this team feel. Not the
because
cheerleaders, not the gimmicky, fake ass, casuals who only showed up when Stephen Curry started to emerge as the Hall of Famer. I'm talking about the folks who are going to stick around and be fans of this team after Steph is gone. I'm talking about folks who don't sit there and go rah, regardless of the team winning or losing, thus removing any accountability for ownership to make change. For the real fans, click on that link and let's send Cam to a Warriors game sitting behind Steve Kerr, please.
Hey, Cyrus, are you going to ask Ryan? Someone in the chat said that they wanted to know the vibe of Chase when people started.
Of course,
leaving.
yes.
Okay.
Okay. As soon as Ryan Leong comes on, that'll be 100%. That'll 100% be a question I'm going to ask him. Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm going to drop off, Cyrus. Keep up the good work. But it's hard to watch this team, man. It's a hard watch. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, it is. You're absolutely right, brother. You're absolutely. It is. This is not a fun product anymore. Thanks, Ombre. I appreciate you. This is not. Look, man, and this is where the NBA and any sports league, even the NFL, you cannot take your product for granted, not even for a second. People have way too many entertainment options to take up their time in this world. If your product stinks, people will seek out alternatives. The Warriors as a product stink. Click on that. Click on that. Go to that QR code right there, folks. Cam's GoFundMe. Let's send a real Warriors fan to Chase Center. I want Steve Kerr to hear boo. I didn't hear a single boo tonight. What is that about? How are the fans at Chase Center not dissatisfied with this? 4 years of this shit. It's not like the 2022 was last year or 2 years ago or 3 years ago. It was 4 damn years ago. That's the span of an Olympics. That's the span of high school. And you still have complacency from these elitist D-bag bourgeoisie. Fudge. Let's go to Han Solo Dolo. I'm going in chronological order here. Han Solo, you're on the show. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
All right, man. What's on your mind?
Oh, this is a shitty product. I am sick of this team. I'm ready for Curry to retire just so I don't have to watch this team anymore or care about it.
Do you really want Steph to retire, or would you mind if Steph stayed, but maybe you replace everyone else and try to start surrounding him with real talent instead of just the picky Steve, being finicky with his choices based on how selective he is with who fits his system. Like that to me is problem number one. Get rid of the guy who's ultra picky about who fits the system and instead focus on talent. Surround Steph with real players. Side note, Steph's a grown man. He can happily adjust to a different system. Maybe not happily, but easily, because he's that good of a player.
I don't want to see Steph in another jersey. That's the only thing.
100%. Hey, Han Solo, can I bring you back in a second because Ryan Leong is here and I don't want to waste his time. Can you just be on hold for another minute or two?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. I'll bring you right back. Han Solo, you're going to be next because Ryan Leong joins us from the floor of Chase Center following a very disappointing game, dud. 129-101 the final. The Warriors dropping at 31 29. Ryan, great to see you. What was your reaction from what I consider to be a disappointing game?
Yeah, the Warriors just, they men against boys tonight, right? Or boys against men, how you want to look at it.
As long as you know who the boys are and who the men are.
Yeah, it sure wasn't the Warriors. I mean, they just, and they couldn't shoot their way out of a paper bag trying to shoot from distance, right? That was kind of the turning point of the game, really.
Do you have the number in front of you? Because I don't think I've read that yet.
According to this, it's the official scorers report, 12 of 44 for the Warriors. They actually got up to 27%. Lakers, though, were 19 of 41, so that's 46%. And
Ryan, I don't know if you were able to listen to the broadcast, but one thing, not Richard Jefferson, his colleague on the color, who was it again? I forgot.
Legler?
Tim Legler, thank you. Yeah. Legler said that because Mike Breen, who is the play-by-play broadcaster, asked the two gentlemen whether he thought the Warriors, or he just wanted their analysis of the shot selection that resulted in that 27% shooting from deep figure you just mentioned. Yeah. And what Tim Legler said is he did not think the shot selection was wise. He thought they were settling for quick shots. They were not open shots. And he thought they could have done a lot better. What did you think?
Yeah, I agree with that to an extent. Yeah. I mean, I definitely thought that you were just watching, and then at some point you could just see the Warriors were just, just hoping that the shot would go in, because that's the only.
Oh, Ryan just froze on us for a second. Hopefully,
more often than not.
He's back.
Oh, I was gonna say more often than not, the shot didn't fall in, right? They would just take a shot, clank it off the rim, the backboard. Lakers would get the rebound, drive down the floor. And a lot of times they would leak out, so they would get a lot of open fast break layups too, as a result of the Warriors' 3-point misses.
In our chat tonight, Ryan, and again, people can not just follow you on Twitter at Ryan Leong. They can follow you on Threads at Sportcyclopedia. You're with NBC News Radio. Maybe more importantly, you're with Bay Area Sports Wrap. Folks, please subscribe to that. It's tagged in our YouTube description. You just got to click on Bay Area Sports Wrap and it'll go right to it. Subscribe. Side note, dude, your subscriber numbers are solid, brother. You're
trying
creeping up on 3,000, man. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah.
And someone in the chat, you're welcome. Someone in the chat wanted me to ask you, if you don't mind, sir. This was courtesy of Yokana Kagawa, Yoko Nakagawa. I hope I got that right. Wanted me to ask you, Ryan, what's up?
No, I see the question. Well, I don't know.
What
I mean,
was the vibe like at Chase Center, and when did fans start walking out? I had a critique tonight that the Warriors fans, it was disappointing to me that they were not booing, that they just kind of sat there and just accepted things. What was your takeaway?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's like, there's no Steph, there's no Jimmy Butler. I mean, Kristaps Porzingis is still, who knows when he's going to play again. I just feel that this is not an Oracle crowd. You got to remember that. And the longer that they've been here, the more that becomes evident, right? That this is a different fan base than who went to Oracle. And I think a lot of people are, yes. I wouldn't say maybe complacent is the right word. They're just kind of accepting what it is. And
that's sad.
But what are you going to do? I mean, when you're running out guys like that, they're running out. I mean, do you really expect much of a different result?
I mean, on a night like this, I guess not. But it's just the fact that this is a running theme all season. Where let me rephrase this, Ryan. Where is the incentive for a team to make changes if the fans don't hold the franchise accountable?
Well, I'm sure they will. It's just that it's still kind of mid-season, right? So it's like the changes, I think, are going to have to come more once the season's over. At this point, I just don't see how you could really get after, if you want to go after Dunleavy or if you want to go after Wake Up or both. I mean, it's like, I don't know. I just feel like this is you're just at mid-season right now. It's just when the season's over, then you can decide what you want to do with looking ahead.
I guess my what I want to follow up then is, if you don't let your displeasure be heard now, and I'm talking when I say I'm referring to the fan base, where's the incentive in the offseason to make those changes, right? Like this product in the East, and this goes back to just West Coast fans in general, and it is to me why there is such a stark difference between the Warriors in San Francisco and when they were in Oakland. Oakland fans at least let their voices be heard. I mean, this is the same fan base that booed Joe Lacob during Chris Mullin's retirement ceremony, right? Because they had traded Monte Ellis and they weren't pleased with that, and they thought Joe Lacob was maybe being egotistical, taking the mic during Chris Mullin's retirement ceremony. They booed him mercilessly that evening.
Yeah.
And I can never in a million years see that type of scenario playing out now. And that just disappoints me, man. I feel like if the Warriors were on the East Coast or most other markets, you'd have, maybe not Houston. Houston's like I feel like their fan base currently is very similar here, because I used to go to some Rockets games when I lived there, and their fans just are similarly apathetic. Like, they don't boo, they don't really make their voices heard. And Warriors fans were not like that at Oracle. They're like that at Chase Center. And what I keep going back to is, again, if the fans don't speak up, where is the incentive for ownership to do anything? If the fans are just giving you money no matter what you do with your product, where is the incentive to upgrade, right? Like if you're an owner saying that, you're just looking at them going, "Give me your money. We'll just keep doing the same shit."
I think what's going to happen though is you'll see more of what you're talking about once Steph Curry is no longer a viable option. Either he's playing. People, we got to remember they buy these tickets way ahead of time, right? So they're kind of like these are kind of in the bank, so to speak. So I don't think really that there's much that the fans can do really until that day comes when Steph's no longer going to be lacing them up. I mean that day will come. We hopefully not sooner, later rather than sooner. But I think that's when they're really going to have to start making decisions about looking towards the future.
Well, you froze up.
Team is going to go next
again. There we go. You're back.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Why not yell? What is there to cheer about right now? I don't know, man. So you're actually justifying the fan apathy or the fan silence. You think it's okay that they're just sitting there not
well, no, I'm not saying it's not. I'm not saying it's okay. I'm just saying it is what it is, because it's the people that can afford the tickets. And so those aren't the diehard fans. Those are the ones that have the money. And the ones that have the money don't usually complain, right? They're there just to be seen, take selfies, to shoot some video, be happy that they're there. That type of thing.
Now we're getting somewhere. This is what my gripe has been ultimately, is that the fan base at Chase Center they're casuals, dude.
Yeah,
they're
of course. That's been obvious to me for a while. If you want some diehard fans, go to a Valkyries game.
Even there, though, I wonder if the Valkyries were playing bad, if they'd boo. I
don't know. I'll say this much: when I covered both teams, I've seen a lot of Valkyries fans that are consistently coming to games. They're taking public transit. I take public transit most often to the games here, and I can just tell the fans talk to each other, and they're a community like the fans were at Oakland, and you don't have that here.
They're passionate.
Well, not only are they passionate, but they're a community. I don't think Warrior fans here are a community. It's about who can afford to come to the games, and it's not the fans that used to go to Oracle. It just isn't the case. In fact, I saw a buddy of mine, his name's Steve. I saw him come to his first game at Chase in probably several years, because he was a season ticket holder at Oracle, but not at Chase, because he got priced out.
Right. And what was his take on the game tonight? Was he happy?
Oh, he wasn't at this game. He was at a game. What was it? It was the game against. What was that game they won where they were supposed to lose?
The Nuggets game.
Yes. Yeah, he was at that game. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So yeah. So, but that was a game the Warriors probably should have lost, and yet they managed to win that game. So,
Ryan, that's why one of our listeners, who's a diehard Warriors fan, has a GoFundMe. And in case folks you missed this, let me share my screen again. So you can see what I'm talking about. And that QR code goes to it if you're watching on YouTube. If you're listening to the podcast, I got to figure out a way that you folks can easily find how to get to that. But this is the GoFundMe right here. Who's talking to you, Ryan? What's going on there?
This is people walking by. People that are probably guests and stuff. Yeah, they're just walking around.
I know.
So I give you some color and flair.
I know following the game, you usually go to the visitors' locker room.
Mm-hmm.
And today was Luka Doncic's birthday. What did you do in there? Who'd you interview?
So I spoke to LeBron in the locker room, and then we spoke to, I believe it was Jake LaRavia and Luke Kennard in the interview room, along with Coach Redding.
Did you sense a lot of sympathy from the Lakers because they they know how bad the Warriors are?
No. There's no sympathy. I mean, they need to get wins. Every team's trying to get better. I mean, the Lakers are only slightly better than the Warriors. Given how much money they probably spent on their payroll. So.
Well, not record wise, but yeah, no, the other things. What do you mean? What do you mean by that? How are they similar?
Well, I mean, as far as the records, the Lakers are 35-24, the Warriors are 31-29. So there's not that much separation.
Yeah, 5 games in the loss column. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, they're not like. I mean, again, for a franchise like the Lakers, who they're supposed to be,
That's
I mean, the Lakers really haven't been the Lakers for years either, right? So
that's fair. No, you're right. That's a good point. I did see tonight Austin Reeves. There was one play, I think in the first quarter, where he crossed up. I can't remember who his defender was. I think it was Pajemski, but that was a big boy play, man, and that was very impressive. Whereas on the other side, I don't know if you can call any Warriors player in their performance tonight impressive.
Probably Peyton.
GP2?
Yeah, he did it. He had an all right game. He's the only one to score double digits off the bench.
He did 12 points. Yeah, he was 0 of 3 from deep, but he had the 12
6 of
points.
10 overall. Yeah,
yeah, he was the master. The master back cutter is GP2 at this stage of his career. It's very impressive. What's your take on Kerr? And again, this is just your opinion that I'm asking here, but what is your take on Steve Kerr yesterday on 95.7 The Game, coming out and calling Kristaps Porzingis's POTS diagnosis misinformation, and then backtracking, calling it stupid that he even said that today?
I didn't get a chance to hear that interview from Kerr, so I'd have to listen to it.
Which interview? The one yesterday or the one today?
Yeah, the one yesterday and today. I mean, today I didn't. Yeah, I remember I was at the Sharks game, so I didn't have time to go pregame for the Warriors at all.
Well, just to summarize again, yesterday on 95.7 The Game, Steve Kerr said that Kristaps Porzingis, his condition, the POTS, that is not his real condition. And in that interview, he said that he learned this from the GM of the Hawks instead of just asking Rick Celebrini or asking Kristaps himself. He said in this interview that he reached out to the Hawks GM, who he's friends with from his time with the Warriors, and he learned that it actually is not POTS, which and called it misinformation, which blows right into Shams Charania's face, because he's the one who reported that it was POTS, which has been keeping him out. And then today, and props to the Warriors media scene, who usually I don't hear follow-up questions. I don't hear much of a probing aspect from their questions. They probed tonight. They asked follow-ups, and because they wanted to try to find out what exactly Steve Kerr was trying to say, and Kerr admitted that it was stupid for him to say that, and he regretted it, and that it's complicated, and that's what's going on there. I don't know if there's anything you want to add or follow up.
I can't offer anything on that. Like I said, I didn't have a chance to hear that interview, nor did I have a chance to go to Kerr's pregame. So
fair enough. Well, I think I gave you all the context, but I hear you. And then what about Stephen Curry, dude? That's been like really the big mystery here. The superstar player of the Warriors, one of the greatest ever. He was allegedly, the Warriors were going to release a reevaluation report tomorrow on the runner's knee that's afflicting him. And he told Malika Andrews today he hasn't even played basketball yet. And, we've seen footage of him on the sidelines where he doesn't sit, which could be because of the runner's knee. That's what Richard Jefferson has speculated.
Mm-hmm.
What did you see from Steph tonight? And did you hear anything about the knee?
I did not. I mean, the Warriors really keep us in the dark with his updates. I mean, you find out when I find out, and that's kind of pretty much that's it. So yeah. I don't know when he's going to play again. Hopefully he'll play within a couple of weeks. I don't know. I mean, it's just been that he's been out a lot longer than we all anticipated or expected.
Yeah, was he sitting? Do you remember that much? Because
he was sitting. He's doing his usual. He's sitting there. He gets up at times to cheer on the team. I don't think he had much to get up for tonight at all, really. But
interesting.
Yeah, but I saw him on camera a few times on the ABC cameras. But I mean, yeah, there was nothing for him to get excited about for this one. That's for sure.
What is your take on the Warriors season as a whole?
As Steph goes, so go the Warriors.
The Warriors, this loss tonight dropped them to 31-29.
Yeah,
that's 60 games in the books, 22 remaining. So we got a quarter of the season to go. What do you anticipate?
Like I said, as Steph goes, so go the Warriors. If the Warriors don't get Curry back, I have a very hard time believing that they're going to make the playoffs, let alone finish over 500.
What do you predict happening if Steph doesn't come back at all?
Like I said, they may not even finish over 500.
What does that mean, though? Are they still a play-in team? Like, do you think they'll still reach the play-in?
Highly doubtful. I think they'll finish like 10th or something like that. Yeah, somewhere where 10th or 11th.
On a lighter note, I want to play this clip on the show, and this is from your channel, Bay Area Sports Wrap. Gonna give some free love in here, publicity wise, and that's because you had a chance. You're like Ryan, how many miles do you put on your car on average per week?
Not as much as you would think. Like today, I put 0 because I actually took Caltrain down to the Sharks and then took Caltrain back to the Warriors, and it was pretty quick.
So when you're in these situations with, let's say, Olympic gold medalist Alyssa Liu, hope I said her name right.
You did.
Are you not? You're not driving to see to the events she's at. Like you can
I don't.
train?
If I can avoid driving, I will. Yeah. In fact, I think if you're going to play something regarding her either her medal or her banner unveiling at Oakland Ice, I took Bart over for that. Yeah.
Well, bravo. I mean,
Yeah,
public
yeah.
transportation. There you go. Well, I just want to play the beginning of this because you talk about taglines on your show. And does this start with the tagline of Alyssa Liu?
Yeah. Should. Yeah.
Hi, I'm world champion figure skater Alyssa Liu, and this is Bay Area Sports Wrap.
Boom!
Thank you.
Was she enthusiastically giving you that tagline?
She was. In fact, I was the only person to get anything out of her on a microphone because that day she had her banner being unveiled. She or her handlers had strictly said only her coaches would talk to the press.
Really?
Really? Yep. So I actually walked up to her and said, "Hey, I'd like you to read this and only this." And she said, "Okay." And she did
Sports Wrap.
Yeah. So yeah.
You fade in. Oh.
Hi, I'm world champion figure skater Alyssa Liu, and this is Bay Area Sports Wrap.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Were you stoked on that? Any
Oh no, very stoked. Oh yeah. No. I mean, I was thrilled, and I got a photo of her. It's on my Instagram of her next to her world champion banner. If you go to actually, it's even on Threads. You go to Threads real quick. You see it on Threads. On my Threads.
I'll go to your Threads request. Did you see Draymond Green replying to me on Threads?
No. What did he say to you?
He gave me Steve Kerr's resume. Because he did that because I posted a clip of Quinn Snyder, head coach of the Hawks, giving his first reaction to Jonathan Kuminga following the first 2 games. And in that post, I added, "This is how a real coach feels about Jonathan Kuminga." And then Draymond Green wanted to remind me that Steve Kerr is a real coach.
Nice.
It was comical. It was absolutely comical. Here is this is the picture you took. And this was where this was in Oakland?
The Oakland Ice Center, yeah.
What was the event? What was going on here?
That's it. You're looking at it. They unveiled a banner for her back in October for winning the world championship in St. Louis.
Oh, well, there you go.
The funny thing, I'll tell you a quick funny story and a quick aside. They're wondering if she'll make an appearance at a Sharks game, but she is actually on camera rooting on for the St. Louis Blues. I don't know when they got her to record that promo. Maybe they did it when she was in St. Louis for the World Championships last year and says she's a Blues fan.
Is she from Oakland or St. Louis?
No. She's from Oakland, but the World Championships were in St. Louis.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay. Yeah. But no, she's an Oakland native all the way. That's why they're going to have a celebration for her in a couple of weeks.
In Oakland.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Well, congrats on getting that clip, and bravo to Alyssa Liu. What's new with you, man? Promote Bay Area Sports Wrap. What do you got coming up?
I did the Sharks game this afternoon. That's why, unfortunately, I have no Kerr pregame for you. Otherwise, I would have sent it to you.
That's all right.
So
it was just funny because like you do those almost every game.
Yeah,
and then
I tried it.
I'm like, he said something, we could use it, and you're like,
yeah,
I showed it before.
Yeah. Sorry, I was at a very good Sharks game though. I saw the Sharks actually beat the Edmonton Oilers, and I know you don't follow hockey, but there's a guy named Connor McDavid who was the guy that Macklin Celebrini's trying to become, and McDavid had 3 assists, and the Sharks still won 5-4.
Good.
So yeah,
bravo to the Sharks. Are they going to make the playoffs this year?
They're 5 points out right now with playoff spots,
okay.
So we'll see. I mean, they got to keep winning too. I mean, they were right in there for a wild card spot, and then they kind of hit the skids a little bit. So right now they're coming back, but right now they're not in the playoff right now at the moment.
I'm a former San Jose Sharks season ticket holder, Ryan. I don't know if you knew that. My family.
I did not, but yeah.
But when I went to college, my mom was like, "All right, there's no one left for me to take to go to games with her. We're gonna give these tickets to you." And so we ditched them. But yeah, I used to go to Sharks games a lot, man, in the 90s. This was right after Link Gates. Who was playing back then? Was it Patty Marlowe? And because Marlowe was part of the team.
Marlowe came out in the late 90s. So I don't know. When was the last year you went to Sharks games?
Oh well, I mean, I've gone to games recently, but I mean, when I was a season ticket holder. Like who was the goalie? It was
what year was it? What was the last year you were the goalie?
96 to 98 was the stretch.
Okay, so Marlowe was starting up around that time.
Yeah.
Goalies were I think what's his face was there for a while. Wasn't Mike Vernon was there for a time.
It wasn't him. It was Evgeny.
No. What? No, Nabokov was later. Before that too, for a short period, it was actually even guys like Ed Belfour was goalie for a bit.
Oh yeah, at the end of his career,
yeah. I'll have to look. I do a little more research, but Mike Vernon was one of the guys at that time in the mid late 90s.
It's a long ass time ago. I have no idea.
Yeah. But Marlowe was just getting started at the end. Right when you stopped going to games was when he started. When he just started with the Sharks.
All right, brother. Well, thanks for checking in with us, man.
Sure.
This was a dud of a game.
Yeah,
unfortunately. And me, I don't. What does it matter to you in terms of the offseason? Like, do you want to see sweeping change with this Warriors team, and what do you think's going to happen during the offseason?
I don't know. I mean, I'll say this. I think again, this team is still built around Curry. But this is the first year where I think you're really starting to see his age starting to catch up with him, right? I mean, this runner's knee thing is taking way longer than it should have. I mean,
hell yeah.
Initially, they thought it was going to be maybe 10 games. How many games did he miss now? He's missed like 25 or 20, or how many games did he miss now?
That's a good question. I haven't actually. It'll just take me 1 second to get that number. I'm gonna guess it's been about 8 games. It hasn't been as many as it probably feels like because the All-Star break was in the middle of that. But here, all I gotta do is pull up the game log. The last time we saw Stephen Curry play basketball,
he's missed 20 games this season. So there you go. Hey, not bad. I was close.
January 30th was the last
against
time we
Detroit.
Saw him play.
Yes, but he's missed 20 games. As of the printing of the game notes, so I guess it's 21 now. So, right?
If January 30th was so we missed all of February.
Yeah.
Oh my God. But then we had the All-Star break in February. So the last time we played, the Warriors were 27-23, and they're now 31-29. So 10. Is that what you said?
Well, no, I said he missed 21 games. So yeah, I mean, but
in this recent stretch, he's missed 10 straight games now because of the runner's knee.
Right.
And no idea when he's going to come back. Kristaps Porzingis, no idea when he's going to come back.
Yeah, the Warriors are 8-13 without Curry.
Makes sense. Are you as irritated as the Golden Days audience is about the Jonathan Kuminga trade?
I mean, I am, but it's like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess you just knew he wasn't going to be here. It just, I mean, it's one. I know he had one great game for the Hawks so far, right? So I don't know.
2.
He's at 2. Okay, and he scored 27, I think, in one game. And what did he score the next game?
17 and 9 in the other game.
Okay, all right. Well, hey, I mean, again, unfortunately, it's like he had that 1 year where he was starting to show some promise, and then he got in the Kerr's doghouse, and I don't know. I mean, again, I think this team, like I said. I know I'm gonna sound like a broken record here, but as Steph goes, so go the Warriors. So they're still building around him, but like I said, you know that that you see the light at the end of the tunnel where it's like you need to start thinking about somebody else besides Curry.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, some would say you should. The light has been obviously showing for at least a year or two. I mean, dude, he's a human being. Outside of LeBron James, what basketball player has maintained his peak? Pushing 40. I mean, Steph is going to be 38 years old in 2 weeks.
On March 14th,
his birthday is March 14th.
Yep.
Wait, 38 or 39?
He'll be 38.
38, yeah. But that's old, man.
Yeah, it's old. Yeah, you're right. I don't know, man. Like I said, the season is what it is. They're gonna play through and figure out a way with what they've got. Right. That's it for this year. There's not much you can say about what's going to happen. This is what we're talking about right now. Will be good fodder for like. Whenever the Warriors' last game is, right? Whether that comes in, hopefully, May or whenever, right? That's when you can start
May.
Well, if they don't make it that far, I mean, hey,
dude, the playoffs start in the play-in starts, I think, mid-April.
I know. So I'm being optimistic.
You're being very optimistic. Yeah. The season ends April 12th. It's at the Clippers. The play-in will start soon after that.
Yeah.
Do you really think they have a shot at getting out of the play-in?
Not if Steph doesn't come back. Steph doesn't come back. No.
Oh, this is crazy, man. This is absolutely crazy. I'm still trying to understand how people can justify trading away Kuminga for Kristaps Porzingis, a guy who's likely never going to play for this team. We've seen him play once so far.
Yeah.
A lot of confusion about his diagnosis. We don't even know what the hell's going on with them. It seems like the primary bulk of his Warriors existence has been spent in a hotel room recuperating. It's crazy. This is crazy. This is madness to me. Was Joe Lacob there tonight? Did you see him sitting courtside?
I think he was. I wasn't paying that close of attention, but he's usually here every game, so I would assume he was here. Yeah.
Like the chatter that I'm hearing from a lot of people behind the scenes is that they wonder if he's like bored and kind of just.
I'm sure he is.
Yeah, but I mean, you're the owner. Like, I mean, if you're the team you own is boring, Lacob used to come off as a guy that reminded me of Eddie DeBartolo, someone that was just cutthroat and willing to make any change necessary to maintain relevancy and to continue fielding a competitive team. And I don't sense that fire from him anymore. I sense a lot more complacency, a man who's just kind of, content settling for, just milking nostalgia with this group that was part of the dynasty. And that, I mean, this dynasty's cooked, man. There's no dynasty left. Like, it's weird to me. And then you hear that he's interested in buying the Padres, and part of me wonders if he wants to go like the Stan Kroenke route, where he just builds this empire where he owns multiple teams. Because Kroenke owns the Rams, the Nuggets. There's one team I'm forgetting too. I think he owns 3 teams. There might be a hockey or a baseball team in there somewhere as well. And part of me wonders if that's what Lacob's ultimate vision is just to stockpile professional teams. He's got the Warriors and Valkyries. The Padres would be a hell of a franchise to add to your portfolio. That's one of the best baseball teams I think you could own, just because of the gas lamp, and Padres fans are a dedicated bunch. But the guy that had that Eddie D motif, right? The ethos of winning at all costs, I don't see that anymore, Ryan. What's your take on that perspective?
I mean, again, I think everything we're talking about here is stuff that's gonna really be things we could talk about when the season's over.
Well, we can talk about it now.
No. My point being is when the season's over and the team has no games left to play, they really could start going, okay, let's look at our, let's look at the ledger and let's see, do we, you know what I mean? Do we start from scratch, or where do we go?
I guess my curiosity is why are they waiting until the offseason? Like, why did they not focus on the trade deadline to improve instead of just giving away?
Because, like I said, they're still going around Curry. It's going to keep revolving around that.
Are you implying that Stephen Curry wanted Kuminga gone?
No, I didn't say that. I said this team is building around is just doing everything around Curry, meaning that he's still the head guy. So I don't know about that decision. I'm just saying everything still revolves around Curry, and until the season's over, they can really start taking a good look in the mirror and say, what do we need to do next? That's what I'm saying.
I just don't understand what the point was in trading Kuminga.
I don't disagree with you, but again, it's not for either me or you, unfortunately, to make that decision, right? It's just it happened, and we'll see what happens the rest of the way.
But again, my curiosity is, why did it happen? And if the goal is to just keep going, building around Steph, like how
obviously there was some disconnect between Kuminga and Coach Kerr. That's clearly pretty obvious.
Yeah. I guess what I'm trying to understand is, how does trading Kuminga for Kristaps Porzingis help Stephen Curry?
I don't know.
That's where I'm lost.
I mean, and the thing is, again, some of these things can't be answered until Steph even gets back on the court. Because if he doesn't, like I said, the season's going to end sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I hear you, man. I hear you.
That's all I can offer, man.
Do you have a hard time expressing your true opinions about the Warriors?
No, I think what I'm saying is pretty accurate. I mean, it's like if they don't, they're still built. They're still really riding a lot on Curry, and unfortunately, he can only do so much.
It's accurate, but you're also being very safe. Like, you're not expressing any strong opinions. Like, you're not giving me much in terms of opinions, period. You keep saying we got to wait until the offseason.
Because here's the thing: what else can the Warriors do at this point? Nothing. It's already past the trade deadline. What can they really do?
Did you get a chance to watch the two-way players? More specifically, Nate Williams tonight. He looks like a real basketball player. Did you check him out?
I always saw a little bit. I mean, like I said, I didn't have a chance to like really look at this game that carefully. But yeah, I mean, he had good production for his 15 minutes on the floor and scored 7 points.
Well, I saw him on the floor. Like, his first shot attempt was, I think, a 3-pointer. And he's a southpaw. So when he did that, I was like, who the F is that guy? Something looks different here. And then immediately I realized it's Nate Williams, this two-way guy they picked up. And apparently, with the moment I started reading about him, he's on the older side. He got drafted 3 years ago. He was 24. He played for a small college in Buffalo. I think he played for the University of Buffalo in college. Again, why he didn't play in the NBA until 24, I don't know. But from what I researched, he's been in the league for 3 years. He was with, I think, Portland for a little bit. When the Warriors acquired him, he was playing for the Brooklyn Nets G League affiliate, the Long Island Nets. And his contract, the way it was set up, he was not tied down to the Nets. He was, in other words, he was basically a free agent who at that point in time was playing for the Nets, but his contract allowed any other team to grab him if they wanted. And the Warriors expressed interest, and apparently other teams were expressing interest as well. And the Warriors won that bidding war for whatever it's worth. But he was playing great basketball in Long Island. Apparently, since he got to Santa Cruz, he's been playing great ball there. Mm-hmm. And when you watch him play tonight, again, it was a very brief stint. He played a whopping total. And forgive me if you have to run, man. I'm sorry if I'm keeping you long.
Yeah, I do have to kind of get going here.
Final question. We'll wrap it up here. He played 14 minutes, 49 seconds, 3 of 5 from the field, 1 of 2 from deep, 50%. So in that brief run, he had 7 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists, did commit 4 fouls in that brief stint. So that's something where, experience and time will help out. 2 turnovers. But physically, he looks like an NBA player. And in these brief stints, man, like he looks like someone who, if you invest in him, could turn into something. He also could be nothing. I don't know. But any impressions that he left with you?
Not tonight. No, I didn't have a chance to, again, look that carefully at this game once I saw what the score was and how it was just kind of getting out of hand. So, yeah, I apologize. So
no, don't apologize. You're good.
All right, I don't apologize then. Anyway, so hey, I got to run, man. But yeah, Cyrus, it's great hanging out with you, man. I mean, again, I don't know what else we can really say about the Warriors.
No, there's
right
not
now,
much else. Yeah, I hear you.
I mean, there's just, they are a little bit in disarray at the moment, and I know they're just hoping that Curry can somehow make a return. I don't know when. Hopefully, it's soon. But that's really, I think, what I think is kind of the near future for this team.
It's a murky future. I'm getting the sense, Ryan, that this is quickly shifting back to how things were when the Warriors were begging folks like you and I to come cover the team in the 2000s.
It's not quite there yet, but yeah, I mean,
but it's a step away. It's a step away.
It's closer than people think. Let's put it that way. You're right.
Yeah.
And
I guess the difference between this team and Oakland is, at least in Oakland, you had fans who would be disgruntled and bitch about things. And now it didn't cause some change, or it didn't really, do much, but now you just have complacency, and it's kind of crazy to me. Anyways, Ryan, I appreciate you, brother. One more time. Bay Area Sports Wrap is the channel that people should subscribe to. Any recent interviews that, besides Alyssa Liu, anyone else that you've had on the show lately?
Can't think of it as far as like any kind of thing exclusive or anything like that, but that was it. If you get a chance to watch that banner unveiling, that was pretty cool. I mean, again, it was back in October, but hey, strike when the iron's hot. She's the it girl right now. And,
yeah.
I mean, she really did impress. I mean, the fact that she's only the 8th female American to win a gold medal in figure skating. Think about it. Only eight women since 1956, I guess. Tenley Albright was the first, and she's still alive, and she was at the games in Milan. So, I mean, people should definitely be proud. I mean, she did a great job for Team USA, and of course, Team USA hockey was exciting as well. I mean, I'm not trying to push the Warriors on the back burner, but yeah, as you could tell, the Warriors really kind of need to do something to get interest going back right now, because
they're not interesting. I don't blame you for shifting your focus to other things. Are you going to spring training? Is that on the agenda?
I might. I doubt it. I might, but I don't think so, because also the spring training is kind of truncated because of the World Baseball Classic coming up.
That's still a thing.
That's still a thing. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. Are you going to be covering that?
No, it's not anywhere coming close to the Bay Area, but I'm just saying it's coming up soon. And then the Giants actually start the season early this year. They're going to start all of Major League Baseball with the first game on March 25th, with the game against the Yankees. So
just around the corner.
Just around the corner.
There we go. All right. So Warriors fans who love baseball, you have a distraction. Enjoy. Ryan, always a pleasure, brother.
Okay.
Thank you for taking the time out. The YouTube, like, dude, you have fans on the show, man. People routinely are asking me, when's Ryan coming back? When's Ryan coming back?
Appreciate it, Cyrus.
So yeah, brother, you got some love on this program, man, not just for me. So thank you, brother. Thank you as always.
You got it. Thanks, Cyrus. Take care, man.
You too, brother. That's Ryan Leong. Follow him on Twitter at Ryan Leong. Follow him on Threads at Sports Cyclopedia, and subscribe to Bay Area Sports Wrap on YouTube. That is Ryan Leong joining us again live from Chase Center. Han Solo Dolo, thank you for waiting, brother. The focus is all yours now. I'm going to shut up. How you doing?
Doing pretty good. Just making some noodles here.
What kind of noodle? Ramen?
That's more
What are we doing
entertaining
here?
than watching the Warriors.
What are we like? What do you specifically like ramen noodles? Like how good or bad are we talking here?
We're talking about the authentic Korean noodles here.
And real quick, by the way, in the chat, Arnold, before you go, why do you constantly cower out from becoming on the show? Arnold, I see you trolling left and right. You troll me on threads.
Yes, sir.
Me in this chat. You just I know you have disdain for any Warriors criticism. I know you have a Steve Kerr poster taped to the ceiling of above your bed. That's obvious, and that's fine. That's your prerogative. But don't sit here and lob grenades anonymously in your mom's basement with that poster above your bed, with you doing who knows what to pleasure yourself, you sick, a perverted freak. What I'm trying to ask you is stop being an anonymous, cowardly piece of shit and come on the show and have a conversation with me. That opportunity, that invitation is extended to everybody. Stop being a little bitch and hiding anonymously. Come on the show and explain to me why you think I should cheerlead 24/7 for this team when the product is straight ass. Arnold, with that dumbass username of yours. Go ahead. Sorry, Han Solo Dolo. I'm so sick of that troll. Like, I see he's in my replies on threads. He's quote tweeting me on threads. He comes with the replies here, just bitching and hypocritically. He writes, cry. You're crying, you little whiny cocksucker. Come on the show or shut the F up, man. God damn it. Go ahead. Sorry, Han Solo Dolo.
Does anyone know how Guy Santos did? It seems like every time one of these players get a new contract, they just suck right afterwards.
Han Solo Dolo tonight. I'm called Guy Santos. Guy Santos tonight. He did look. I don't think he was our FanDuel player of the game. It wasn't like I wouldn't call it a game that reflects the new contract and him getting a nice bump in salary, but it wasn't a bad game either. He did shoot 50% from the field, 6 of 12, led the team in scoring tonight. Not saying much because your Warriors leading scorer tonight put up a whopping 14 points.
Wow.
You know, on 50% shooting, we'll take it. Not the worst thing in the world, but maybe a little underwhelming.
Yeah, I'm so upset because I was excited about this game and I fell asleep and I forgot about the game, so I turned it on. First thing I seen is Draymond throwing it off someone's foot and instantly turned it off.
And by the way, real quick, Arnold, look, you're out. I've made it very clear, man. Don't bring my effing name up in the chat. Come on the show. If you have any balls, come on the show. You no nut little tiny peckered piece of shit. Come on the show. Otherwise, keep hiding in your mom's basement. And in the meantime, you're out. You're banned. Peace out, dude. Like, just don't troll this program. That's all I ask. Don't be a little trolly bitch. And yet that's all you Kerr apologists are, man. Every single one of you Steve Kerr apologists are feckless, tiny-brained cowards. Because none of you can come on the show and hold your own in a healthy discourse about your beloved, amazing Steve Kerr. None of you. And the few of you that actually have the balls to show up, we end up having a nice conversation and ultimately it's come to a middle ground or we get to a point where it's like, all right, we can agree to disagree. But anybody who hides anonymously, you're a little bitch unless you're willing to actually put your name behind your handle. It has become one of my biggest peeves in life, man. I get why Armando Laura has an issue with these anonymous trolls now. Because if you're not going to put a face to the name, but you're going to still talk shit, what kind of ridiculously pathetic type of human being are you? Seriously, man, think about that. You hide behind a handle, but you talk shit. You are the lowest of low. You are literally like leftover, not gum stuck on a shoe, but dog shit stuck on a shoe. You're as low as the owner of that dog who did not pick up the shit on someone's lawn. That's who you are. It's embarrassing how dumb these people are. And all I ask them to do is just come on the show and talk to me. But no, they want to stay hidden in the chat and talk shit. That is literally a troll. Literally. And I repeatedly love the fact that none of these morons who sit here and defend Steve Kerr can actually back it up with discourse. Not one. It's pathetic, dude. It's so sad. And anyways, I'm sorry, Han Solo Dolo. I'm talking over you, but it's like, again, this is why there is a policy here. Don't troll in the chat. If you disagree with the take of mine, explain why you disagree. Don't just say, "Saw you" or something. Like, don't turn it back on me. That's a logical fallacy. Now you're trolling. Now you're distracting, and you're completely steering away from the conversation because you have nothing. You have nothing to bring to the table. So, with all that said, go ahead, brother. I'm sorry for constantly talking over you, but
you're
this
right.
is why I don't want trolls in the chat, because now I just talked over you for 15 minutes and it's frustrating. Go ahead.
At this point, it seems like a sabotage on Curry's legacy. So, because if they would have got him the right players at the right time, it seemed like the front office waited too long to get a Jimmy Butler or Chris Snaps Porzingis. They could have got Chris Snaps with Jordan Poole. Because they said that they were always looking at Chris Snaps Porzingis, right? I'm tired of the Warriors front office lying. There's no way they were always looking at Chris Snaps Porzingis, because they could have got him for Jordan Poole, but instead they decided to get Chris Paul and then let Chris Paul go for nothing. So
the Mike Dunleavy Jr. Resume is not impressive, dude. I mean, like look at the two players that got extensions, Moses Moody and Guy Santos. Those are Bob Myers picks. What have Mike Dunleavy Jr.'s picks done? Quentin Post suddenly doesn't look that great anymore, right? Brandon Pajemski, awful. Trace Jackson Davis, gone. Will Richard, I think, is the only hope. You traded Kuminga for who? Who did he trade for Kuminga for again? Oh, that's right.
Pingus!
The Mike Dunleavy Jr. resume is right now dangerously like dog shit. Because I don't know what you're bragging about here. What is the positive of Mike Dunleavy Jr.'s resume? Do you have a positive, Han Solo Dolo?
No. Maybe they're just doing this because they're done paying the luxury tax, because they've been paying it for all these years after winning. So maybe this is just their way of telling Steph, like, hey, we don't want to pay this much money anymore, so we're going to make it seem like we're going to give you a chance, but not really.
Well, here's the problem with that. I'm not saying you're wrong, but here's the flaw in that argument. And we talked about this just yesterday with Armando. You look at the Warriors next year, right? And we keep talking about, you keep hearing from the team and various reporters that they're aiming for a clean slate in 2027. Well, we're still just in 2026, early 2026. And right now they have 60. And again, Armando's cousin highlighted this, and I saw that Warriors PR practitioner Tim Kawakami bring this up too recently. Stephen Curry, $62 million next year. Jimmy Butler, $57 million next year. Draymond Green, if he exercises his player option, which he likely will do, $28 million next year. Moses
that
Moody,
Draymond Green contract next
year.
I'm balling it up and throwing it in garbage.
Yeah, but it's not the Warriors' choice to do that. So if Draymond wants that $28 million, it's his. It's guaranteed. Moody.
Yeah, they got to get rid of Draymond. He fucking sucks.
But they're not going to do that, right? So Al Horford, $6 million next year. Brandon Pajemski, $6 million next year. Just from those, and then now you have Guy Santos, $5 million. What I'm trying to say is, if the goal is to get out of the luxury tax, it ain't happening. So what are we doing? What are we doing here? What the hell are we doing here? I don't. It's crazy, man. I feel you. Like, logically, it would make sense if this team was trying to at least, do a reset financially, but it ain't next year. And so we're just going to be stuck with another year of this shitty product. Is that what's going on here?
At this point, that's what it sounds like. We're just going to be stuck watching this shit.
This is crazy, dude.
And it's like, what should we do? Just not watch the games? Because at this point, it's just, I don't even want to watch.
Are you?
I'd rather be doing something else.
Almost everybody I'm talking to, like, I don't know anybody who's watching the games anymore as is. Do they publicize TV ratings, or at least ratings for like Warriors games? Because I'd love to know how many people are tuning in, at least here in the Bay Area. Something tells me not a lot. I could be wrong with that, but
I mean, I don't want to sound like a bandwagon, but once Curry's gone, I'm not watching the NBA no more.
Dude, I've been a Warriors fan my whole life. And there were a lot of spells where I had to pick a second team to root for because you could be the most hardcore fan imaginable. But if your team is just dog shit and you love hoops, you got to find something else to at least keep your interest going, right? So
yeah, I guess the NBA is just not entertaining to me. It's a lot of.
It's not.
The defense is terrible.
I'm guessing that's why so many people are interested in the Hawks right now, because at least they're interesting. At least they're putting out a quality product. Like, what are this is insane, dude. I still do not understand this whole like this reverence and borderline atmosphere of fear that people have when it comes to talking about Steve Kerr. Like, it's crazy to me, dude. Like, people are like afraid to criticize the head coach of the Warriors. He's befriended people. Like, everyone has a bias towards Steve Kerr. Are most human beings just that weak where you cannot literally take out bias in your head? Like, if you meet someone, do you now have to act deferential to this person for the rest of your life? If
I don't get it.
Your pants
if
off,
I was there to ask questions, I would have already called Steve Kerr out on a lot of this bullshit.
It's crazy, man.
He picked the shortest players. It's like he chooses to get the smallest players on the team. And for some reason, when they're doing shitty, he doesn't call timeouts or nothing. He just continues to let them play. But if a lineup is playing well, for some reason, he calls timeouts and he sits all the players that are playing well. I don't get it. I don't like this coach. He sucks.
No.
I don't understand it.
And the only power a coach really has is deciding who plays when. That is the fundamental biggest power of a head coach. That's it. And it's been 4 years where we're watching the head coach of the Warriors play the wrong guys time and time and time again. And he's absolved of that. Like, you still have these guys, the Barbers of the world, who write, well, he got 4 chips and it should be 5. Nothing is never enough. Well, how about for the last 4 years, we just see like a playoff team, not a play-in team, a playoff team. I mean, we saw one last year, but they grossly underachieved. If you disagree with that, I don't know what to tell you. That team should have gone further than they did and would have if Steve Kerr decided to not insert his own personal beliefs in terms of the roster. Meaning,
yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
What was going through your mind DNPing Jonathan Kuminga at the end there? In what world can Jimmy Butler and Jonathan Kuminga not play on the floor together? Positions don't exist in basketball. There is nothing in the rule book that says you need a point guard, you need a shooting guard. These are all arbitrary, dude. These are all social constructs to better understand the game as a whole. And until recently, you didn't have centers who could play like Nikola Jokic.
Well, Steve Kerr likes guards anyway. He might as well just get rid of all other positions on this team at least, and, dude, let all the guards play.
When has Kerr ever shown that he's a good evaluator of talent?
Zero.
Follow up and answer that question. Give me one player that Steve Kerr has properly evaluated as being good.
Maybe
not the GM just handing
Franz
it.
Wagner. Probably. That's the only thing. That's the only thing I'll give him, and we didn't get him.
Wagner, who can't even stay on the court, who misses, who's injured always, and who can't shoot threes. That guy.
Yep, that's the only person. Other than that, nothing.
Barbara, I'm still waiting for one name. And here's another thing on that note. Can you name just one player who has left the Warriors and spoke fondly about Steve Kerr? If he's such a great coach, name one.
Zero.
Yeah, it's zero. Kerr earned the trust of 2 guys, Steph and Dre. Congratulations. You're milking your power trip to the end. It's vile, dude. And Kerr's just tanking this franchise before he leaves, dude. It's ugly, man. This team had a chance to sustain greatness. Instead, they put all their chips in to the Steve Kerr basket, even though he has never once shown that he's a good evaluator of talent. Even though I still don't understand how he was even responsible for any of those 4 championships. Like, why do so many people illogically, ignorantly pretend that Kerr was responsible for this championship?
Yeah, like he didn't have Klay Thompson, Kevin Durant. Anybody could have coached that team.
You got handed. Jerry is saying Iggy called Kerr a great coach. When? Like at his retirement ceremony when Kerr was sitting in front of him? When did he say that? I'm talking about after he left, like some distance after he left. When did Iguodala say that either? Because I'm not sitting here pretending the retirement ceremony is a good example of that when your coach is sitting right in front of you. When did he say it? And when did he say that? I'd love for you to pull that quote and give me exactly where he said that. Like that.
I don't understand these guys.
When did Andre Iguodala, after he retired, come out and say Steve Kerr's a great coach? Pull that clip, please. I want to see that.
Yeah, I want some of these Kerr guys to come on here and say something because you can't explain these guard lineups with Draymond at center. It's not working, and he keeps doing it. Please, can one of you Kerr guys come on here and explain that to me? How is that a good idea?
Han Solo Dolo, like, why didn't Al Horford start tonight?
That's what I've been wondering. I want Al Horford to start, and then you could put Porzingis at the 5 or whatever. But Draymond needs to come off the bench or get less minutes.
I'm with you, yeah.
Because Draymond sucks. To be honest, I don't think he deserves to be on the basketball team.
Here's the thing. If Steph was ever available, I could see the justification for Draymond Green still being a part of this team. As long as Steph is out, there's no good reason, I think. There's no good reason. And now Barber, who again couldn't.
Yeah, this guy Barber said we have no idea.
Player, but now he's deflecting to Popovich. Side note: Popovich actually played Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard was a Finals MVP in his 3rd year.
Exactly.
All Popovich had to do was play the goddamn kid. That's it. Not insist that Kawhi plays by his rules and that Kawhi has to fit his system. No, Popovich would adjust his system based on the talent. Side note, Barbara, we talked about this in detail just recently on another show, but at the same time, I'm not expecting you to watch every show. But we did cover this already in great detail. Even in the later stages of Popovich's tenure, before they turned into an absolutely horrible team for like 8 years, which again is a friendly reminder, do not pretend for a second that the system in NBA basketball has that much value. It's talent. But Popovich even adjusted his system when he had DeMar DeRozan and LaMarcus Aldridge. He grossly simplified that offense because he knew LaMarcus Aldridge is not exactly a guy who's running sprints and logging 3 miles a game with off the ball movement. So
and that fit his play style. He was able to fit that play style around LaMarcus Aldridge, and he was still an all-star.
I just don't understand like this whole like fandom of Steve Kerr. Like I've never seen another coach like have fans. Like even when Phil Jackson, his first run with the Bulls ended, when he had, I don't know, what was it again? 6 championships. There were a lot of people who were skeptical of him because he had Michael Jordan, right? A lot of people were like, yeah, great. Phil has 6 titles, but he had Michael Jordan, he had Scottie Pippen, he had these unbelievable rosters. So Phil had to do it with a very young Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal. And then he had to do it again with a more mature Kobe Bryant, and then they brought Pau Gasol in.
But do you think Kerr has anything to do with how this roster is constructed?
Yes. That's one of many problems. He's sucked he's influenced Joe Lacob to the point where he's really the GM. I just don't get it. Like why?
Because that one kid, what's the kid, Leon?
Yeah, Malachi Leon's. Yeah.
How come he didn't play tonight? He's 6'9", got size.
Great question. Why don't you ask the Barbers of the world who think Steve Kerr is perfect?
Plays great defense.
I agree with you. I don't know why Malachi Leon's did not show up in this game until the 4th quarter to play garbage time minutes.
Kerr consistently played a small team. No matter how shitty they're doing, he wants 4 small guys out there.
Agreed. Yeah, Malachi Leon's all 7 minutes, 45 seconds in garbage time in the 4th quarter.
See, he's saying it's the hate. We're speaking facts. Tell me where the facts is hate. Why is facts hate? That don't make any sense. Because what I saw out there is a 4-guard lineup with Draymond, and it sucked ass. And we lost by what, 20-some points? So how is that hate?
And I guess like I'm really skeptical of like because Ryan Leong was on the show a second ago, and he kept saying, what do you want me to say? Like he has nothing to say. Wait until the offseason, even though again, and I'll remind Ryan of this the next time we have our off-air conversation. In order to have a good product on the screen, you got to have some strong opinions and then try to back it up. But besides that, again, if you're going to wait until the offseason, I am not feeling good that this team's going to replace Steve Kerr.
Do you want to see this team actually in the playoffs, Cyrus?
No,
I don't either.
Perfect scenario,
I don't want to see
dude.
this team in the playoffs at all.
Perfect
I'd
scenario.
rather them just
and again,
hit the 11th
Barber-
seed and
Barber-
call it a day. Wrap this season up.
He's not perfect, but he's not as bad as you want to put it. Again, he was playing Anthony Lamb instead of Jonathan Kuminga. That's bad. He was like he was DNPing Kuminga for months at a time, using just fit as justification. That's bad. The Warriors have the shortest team in the NBA, even with
shortest
Porzingis, because of Steve Kerr. That's bad.
This guy's bringing up Kerr's 10 rings and the 4 championships he has. How long ago was that when we had Kevin Durant and Steph Curry? We don't have that no more.
And again, this is where this is why I call the Kerr fans casuals, because you have Jerry Lane in our chat saying Steve Kerr has 10 championships. It's 9. It's not 10. So be factually correct. And again, he won 4 with Stephen Curry as a star player, one of the greatest players ever. He won 3 as a player alongside Michael Jordan, the greatest player ever. And a side note, Kerr was just a role player on that team, but now you're pretending like it's his championship. He got 2 more championships with the Spurs when Tim Duncan, the greatest power forward in the history of this game, was on that team. But you're going to claim Steve Kerr has championships because of that. Let me remind you, Casey Jones. If you don't know that name, Jerry, I'm going to teach you, give you a lesson here on another former NBA player who has more rings than
Yeah,
Steve.
this Barber guy's weird.
Casey Jones has 12 championships. He won 8 as a player, playing alongside the Boston Celtics great, all-time great, Bill Russell. So no one pretends Casey Jones was responsible for those rings. And then he has 4 as a coach, with Wilt Chamberlain for one of them, 3 of them with the 8 Celtics of Larry Bird. I guess it's time for me to play that Gary Payton cut again, because there's a lot of folks that just don't seem to understand why Steve Kerr, from my perspective, is the most average coach imaginable.
Steve Kerr's not even an average coach. Did you see? Everyone saw there was the FIBA games. He had 2 7-footers that he didn't play. In FIBA, they don't have a 3-second rule. But according to Kerr, he wanted to put what's that guy's name? He's on the Knicks. Put him at center.
Oh, yeah, Josh Hart.
Josh Hart. Yeah, and they don't have a 3-second rule in FIBA games. How stupid is that? Is that smart?
They couldn't even medal. Like I wanted to respond to Draymond Green when he was like, dude, he got a gold as an assistant, a gold as the head coach. It's like, Dre, like, do you really not realize that Stephen Curry is just one of the greatest ever, and he's winning these games almost single-handedly? And Dre, are you seriously ignoring the FIBA Cup the summer before when the team couldn't even medal? But this clip, to me, is most indicative of Steve Kerr and why he's absolutely the wrong guy for the team now. Because this Gary Payton interview, this is Gary Payton talking about Casey Jones. Just listen to this for a second and then sit here and tell me that you don't hear the stark similarities.
Okay, so you're playing for the Supersonics. First 2 years, a little bit rough. And, the coach is Casey Jones.
Right.
Who is a great coach. Let's just put it out there. He won 11 out of 12 NBA championships, 8 as a player, 3 as a coach. But I guess you went, to the owner and said that you want a new coach?
No, what happened is that they were going to trade me. And then the ownership did this. They said, okay, we don't know why you and Sean are not getting better. So they pulled us in. And as you got to understand, Vlad, when you got a coach who has won 8 championships as a player, and 3 as a coach, you ask why. The reason why is because the Boston Celtics had great teams. And he coached Larry Bird, Kevin McHale, Robert Parrish, Danny Ainge, ML Carr, people like that who were already established. So you didn't have to have young players when that was when the generation was changing in basketball in the NBA. You didn't have all the old school Magic Johnson, Kareem, all that stuff where you could just go and sit down and Magic will take over the
Just
game.
give 'em
Or
the ball,
Bird,
yeah.
here, just have the ball.
Right.
You didn't have that. So we were fresh. And when we were fresh, he didn't know how to relate to that. You know what I'm saying? He was used to getting older guys, just giving the ball. And we didn't know how to play the game. So you had to teach us the game. And when you got to teach us the game, it's a different story. And he just didn't have that in us. And we just needed a new guidance. It was nothing against Casey Jones. It was just that we needed a coach that can guide us. And he wasn't that type of coach to guide us.
Right. And here comes George Karl, who's considered one of the greatest coaches of all time. He's one of 9 coaches
This
to win.
guy talking about a championship team. Wow.
He was
All right,
coach.
we'll stop there because he's talking about. But the point is, again, the way George Karl describes Casey Jones, it's almost identical to how Steve Kerr is managing this team. And unfortunately for the Warriors, where they screwed up. Side note: OMG Manny, thank you for it's been a golden dazer for
They just
years.
need to make some differences with the offense sometimes. Like the motion offense isn't for everyone. Sometimes you got to mismatch hunt. I don't understand why Kerr doesn't like to mismatch hunt.
But what Gary Payton is trying to say in this clip, you're right. I'm not disagreeing with that. But what Gary Payton is trying to say in this clip is that some coaches are just managers. Some coaches have no interest in actually coaching, meaning
Yes,
teaching,
that's Steve Kerr.
meaning
I see that all the time. He doesn't
being
want to coach.
hands-on. And the Sonics were dangerously close to trading Gary Payton away, and they were smart enough to realize, oh yeah, talent has far more value than a coach, a clipboard holder, and they wisely moved on from Casey Jones. The Warriors just effed up royally by keeping the coach and moving on from the talent. It is such a massive mistake on their part. It's unbelievable. And then some real quick, some additional chats here from our Steve Kerr apologist. Barbara asks, what effing coach is a great one? We already said you can't find one. I already said one of my Mount Rushmore of head coaches, Phil Jackson. Again, never missed the playoffs. You can't say that about Steve Kerr. Not once. 11 championships, 13 total between coaching and playing between multiple teams. Let Steve Kerr come, I don't know, within 3 of that before we can have a conversation in terms of whether or not they're in the same conversation. Pat Riley, Red Auerbach, and then begrudgingly Greg Popovich, because in general, NBA coaches are grossly overrated. Their job primarily is to not F it up, which is all Steve Kerr has been doing for 3-4 years now.
I'd rather have
Yes.
Denver's old coach.
Asking, would you rate Phil Jackson over Steph? Of course. Over Steve Kerr? Of course. 11 titles with 3 different runs.
Who was the coach?
Steve Kerr has 1 run, and they should have had more than 4.
Who was the coach that just
100%.
won a championship with Denver?
Who did?
The last coach who won the championship, Mike Malone.
Yeah.
I think they should go get him.
There's a lot of options out there. This has never been a better time to find a new coach. There is a massive stockpile of coaching talent out there. Barber also asked, again, so the team didn't medal in the 2023 FIBA Cup. It's on him, but when they win, it's not on him. The reason what you're missing here, Barber, is the USA men's basketball team is always going to be a heavy favorite. Think about the OKC Thunder playing the Washington Wizards. When OKC beats the Wizards, you don't brag about that shit. It's expected. No. Just like when Team USA gets gold like they do every effing Olympics, except for 2004. That's a stand. But they're heavy favorites. When you're a heavy favorite and you win, you're doing what you're supposed to do. When you're a heavy favorite and you lose, that's a failure. So in 2024, they almost lost. They were saved by Stephen Curry and his miraculous.
Yep. And who was the coach? Steve Kerr.
What's up?
I said, who was the coach of that USA team? Steve Kerr.
The previous summer was Steve Kerr when they lost the FIBA Cup. They were favorites, heavy favorites in that tournament too. So I guess what I'm trying to say, Barber, is when you're a heavy favorite and you don't deliver, it ain't a good look. When you're a heavy favorite and you barely win, not that impressed. I mean, is that not conveying? Am I not being clear? I mean, come on, man. Jesus Christ. And the guy was DNPing one of the team's best players, Jason Tatum, for similar reasons, because of fit. Unreal, dude. I'm grateful that he did that, though, because there were way more people questioning my critique of Kerr before the Olympics, and then especially Celtics fans, because there's one clip of me from like 2022 where after the Warriors won the championship, I was excitedly saying that I hope that Kuminga and Moody can become the next Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, and then you had Celtics fans just laughing their ass off when that clip went around. They all went quiet in 2024. When they saw Jason Tatum getting those DNPs in the Olympics, I never once heard from those folks ever again, because they realized, oh my God, this coach is a psychopath. He's just all about just pushing whatever he feels is best and rarely applying logic to it. It's craziness, dude. It's craziness, man. Anyways, Han Solo Dola, any final thoughts?
No, not really. It's just I guess I'm just gonna continue to watch until Steph retire, and then I could just, walk away peacefully and be done with this Warriors team. I just became a fan in 2010. So,
well, why would you be done with them? I mean, this is a never-ending.
I'm only really a Curry fan. I started watching in 2010, his sophomore year, and I was a Derrick Rose fan. After that, I'm not really interested in the NBA. The NBA is just not fun to watch to me.
Well, you're in a bad spot. So are you in Chicago right now?
No, I'm actually I live in Michigan, so Pistons are doing great, but I don't really care.
Why?
I only was a fan of Steph Curry. I love basketball, but the NBA is just not it for me. It's just not entertaining to watch.
What is it for you?
Steph Curry. When they were playing, they were the team, that was it.
Let's say Stephen Curry retires. How do you get your rocks off, dude? How do you find pleasure in life? What are your hobbies?
If Steph Curry retired today, there would be, I'm not watching the NBA. I'll probably just, work more. And
you'd what? I'm sorry.
Work more, get girls.
What do you do for
do
work?
Hobbies?
What do you do for work?
I am a truck driver and part-time firefighter.
I feel like you've told us that before, right? The firefighter part. I feel like you have.
Yep.
Correct me if I'm wrong with that. So you're a truck driver, like long hauling, dude? Like, are you going all over the country or just Michigan?
No, I local.
Okay. Are you joining us from the truck now?
Nope, I'm at home right now.
All right. So what do you play video games? Like, what hobbies are you going to take up when Stephen Curry's done?
I got my electric longboard, so when it gets warm out, go and do that. Go to a few concerts. This year, I'm going to quite a few. A$AP Rocky, some Doja Cat.
Some live music. I like it. Armando, by the way, quoted what you just said a moment ago, which I was laughing inside too when you were like, get girls, do hobbies. The professor Armando Laura got a kick out of that. So did I. I'm glad Armando also followed that up.
Yeah, good. Getting girls is a hobby.
It's a hard hobby. It's a can literally.
It can be if you make it hard.
Be very careful. Goes for both. It's not a gender thing. It could also be reversed. Like, you could be a woman out there and pick the wrong guy, and they can destroy your life. Be careful, is what I'm trying to say.
Yes, they can. Be careful. That's why you just have fun. You don't make everything serious.
A woman, whether you don't identify with any sex, however you identify yourself, whatever you're pursuing out there, just be very careful, because there are a lot of bad people, and some of them will not take your best interest to heart. How's the dating scene in Michigan? I had a former friend once tell me that as a woman, dating in Michigan was a delight because she said there are no blondes there, and she was blonde, and so she had the pick of the litter. She left California for that same reason. How was the dating scene in Michigan for you?
I'm doing quite well.
Wow.
I'm not doing too bad. I got multiple girls I can hit up right now. So yeah, I'm not complaining.
Good for you, brother.
Not complaining. But where I'm at, there is quite a high STD rate. So yeah, that's the only thing I need to watch out for. So
yeah, dude.
I live in Saginaw, Draymond's hometown. So yeah, it's quite high over here.
That's all the more reason to settle down with and get into a relationship, right? So you're not rolling,
no,
you're not rolling that dice.
No, never. No relationships. No long term.
In the old days when Eddie Murphy was doing stand up, wasn't that one of his many funny skits? Was how when you're on the dating world, it's almost like you're playing roulette each time.
Yes,
he compared it to roulette or craps, or one of those games. I can't remember, but he was like blonde. I think it was craps. He's like, let's roll the dice. Ooh, you got a kid. Ooh, roll the dice.
Yeah. It's out here. You're dodging bullets, man. Dodging bullets.
Stay safe.
But I'm taking it. I'm taking the risk.
Stay safe. Keep interest in the Warriors, brother. We don't want to lose you, man. They will switch gears. Hopefully sooner than later. And
they better put Steph as a priority. If not, I'm out of here.
To me, the biggest concern is just whether or not Joe Lacob cares. I
don't think he does anymore. He won his rings. He made his money. He's good. He's good. You see how long it took him to get Jimmy Butler and Tingus Pengus. He's good. He made his money.
Drive safe. The best ever in our chat saying be careful in Saginaw.
Yeah, it's bad out here.
They supposedly have an amazing taco place in Saginaw, Michigan. So
quite a few.
Come back with a review if you stop there.
Yeah, I'll let you know.
All right, brother. Join us again.
I'll be here until Steph retires.
All right. We'll see you again soon then. Have a great night, brother.
Yep, you too.
Han Solo Dolo. Let's go to K Nitty with a Golden State Warriors avatar profile pic, whatever you call that thing. Joining us. Your handle feels new to me. I don't know if you've been on the show before. How are you doing?
Nah, Si. Yeah, thanks, man. I love the show. Been watching for the longest, and the fact like some of these shows, they be going kind of late, and so I'd be like, man, I gotta call in, but man, that bed is calling my name too. So it's
where are you joining us from? Where are you?
I'm joining from California. I'm in Southern California right now. But yeah, Bay Area native, growing up, born and raised, love the Warriors all my life. Even after Steph Curry and Draymond and everybody's gone, I'm still going to be hanging tough because, man, we've been through a lot, Si. This right here, Si, to put this in perspective, when the Warriors were an 8 seed during the We Believe era, this was a championship year for us. This is where we come from.
Yeah.
So man,
but times have changed on that front, man. Like we got it's
true.
I mean, well, look, let me rephrase that. I was more excited for the We Believe Warriors than I'm excited for this.
Exactly. Yeah, that's all we all feel. But I just mean that to say, like, just from the perspective of in Oakland, the way things were, what they were putting up with. I mean, that was also an era when you get the 8 seed and they're throwing you a parade. So, just a little perspective. But anyway.
Well, and even more perspective, and this is why the Lacob part of this is freaking me out a little bit. The Warriors were hopeless back then because they had an owner named Chris Cohan who was I heard there were a lot of stories out there about drinking problems, and then he had to sell the team because he was in a mess with the IRS, and he owed a shitload of money, and he had to sell the team to pay off his back taxes. So and Warriors ownership has been a mess for decades before Joe Lacob bought the team around 2010. And I bring that up because you're right. There were a lot of dark decades with little, glimpses of excitement. We Believe was one of them. Run TMC was one of them. Chris Webber was one of them. Sleepy Floyd, Joe Barry Carroll was one of them in the 80s. But you have these little blips surrounded by just darkness, man, like torture. And it usually starts with ownership just being incompetent, right? Like just either being apathetic in terms of caring about the product, hiring the right or wrong people. That includes coaches, includes executives. And then Joe Lacob comes in and he's got all this energy and he's bringing headwinds and it's exciting stuff. And my concern is Joe Lacob now going to just revert back to being a Chris Cohen type? Like, is he waving the white flag? Because any owner who's at that stage, I feel like your franchise is screwed. You're in huge trouble if you don't have an owner who's all in on winning. And I'm a little concerned right now, man. I really am.
I get it. I hear your concern. And I'm calling not to ease those concerns. I'm calling, this is probably the worst attitude to have, but I am like resolved, like you use the word torture. That's what it was like. And I am fully, I'm appreciating the quote unquote golden days. And if they have to come to an end, at least we had the friends that we made along the way, which kind of leads me to why I am calling with my
envy your attitude. I really envy that. That's positive, man.
Which I am calling because I have got to defend the greatest assistant coach in Team USA, dare I say Olympic history, Steve Kerr. That's right. Because I the team right now, we are where we are. It happened. It is what it is. But I appreciate the run that we had. And the one thing that I really want to mention that I don't think gets talked about enough on this show and appreciated enough on this show is that 2022 championship. Because I feel like that title just validated everything that had happened in the past. The way Steph Curry said, what are they going to say now? That's because that's what it did. That's why it was so important. And, Steph Curry was amazing during that run. He is clearly the reason why that happened. He was the MVP of like the universe when that happened, but I cannot let it go forgotten the contributions of everybody on that team. I mean, the way Automatic came out of nowhere, we got the last good year of Otto Porter, Jordan Poole. This guy comes from nowhere. The previous year, we saw the talent in the play-in, and we knew to watch out for him, but while Clay was out, we had another Splash Brother dropping 20 a night.
The pool party, man.
And I feel like we completely forget that happened. And this is before I even mentioned All-Star Wig. This man had Japan, he had Korea and the K-pop fans jumping on his bandwagon. This guy went from a bust to an all-star starter side. There was, after the NBA Finals, there was a meme going around on Twitter that was an apology letter to Wiggs when people were saying he shouldn't have been an all-star. But when they saw the way he put Luka in a straitjacket in the Western Conference Finals, and not to mention Kevon Looney, who's out here averaging 20 rebounds a night like he's 1998 Dennis Rodman incarnate. Anyway, and then going to the top, Steve Kerr. It was a difficult decision, but the way, I can't remember if this was the finals or the conference finals, but the way he had to switch out Draymond Green and Kevon Looney, offense for defense, when Draymond was struggling at the end.
That was the finals, right?
What was that?
Was it the NBA Finals when he did that?
I think that was the finals.
Yeah.
And that was a huge pivotal turning point because the Celtics looked like they had the momentum in the beginning. Steve Kerr made some coaching adjustments that not only helped that game, but Draymond then, went on his podcast that night saying, that was embarrassing. I'm never going to play that poor again. And sure enough, he lived up to his word, and he found out that Jaylen Brown can't go left. And, they figured out the secret to unlock that team. I've never been to a game at Chase, right? I went to a bunch of Warrior games. I bought tickets to Game 7. That was going to be my first game. It did not happen. Exactly. Oh, yeah. Exactly. Because Draymond Green, Steph Curry, the whole team, they put it down. And I got to give Steve Kerr the credit for the system that he has.
Can I stop you there real fast?
Absolutely.
You're going. This is an amazing trip down memory lane, and I'm guessing every Warriors fan listening and watching is just reveling in the nostalgia of this. The reason why, and again, look, this is the classic adage is ignorance is bliss, right? And This is where if we just stopped there, we'd all be happy. Absolutely. Have to come in. but I have to come in and add the nuance, which is why I'm so skeptical of Kerr. It's easy to forget that season. Players like, do you remember Damian Lee?
Yeah, right.
He was getting chunks of regular season minutes. And I don't know what Kerr did in the postseason to suddenly realize, oh, yeah, these guys should be at the end of the bench. But in the regular season that year, you had Damian Lee getting chunks of minutes. You had Juan Toscano-Anderson getting chunks of minutes. And those guys were thankfully, and Chris Chiozza, the one of the two-way guys, was sometimes getting minutes. And it was fine. I mean, in the grand scheme, it wasn't hurting
some
the
good
team.
games, in their defense, but right.
But in the regular season that year, I guess like I can't forget those players. And I guess the reason why I'm where the bitterness from my perspective comes from is that amazing season, which you're holding on to, and I respect you for that. You're a happier person than me in this world, so you win. I lose in this situation. You win. But what bugs me is that season ends. They win the championship. And from my perspective, as someone who was public by that point, in terms of having a show that had a decent audience size, and I'm sitting here telling everybody this team's winning the whole thing. This roster is perfect. Because Jordan Poole just the season before had come back from that G League stint and switched. That G League stint was a game changer for him in terms of his development as a player. And like you said, man, the Warriors started 18-2 that year with Klay Thompson not back yet, and Jordan Poole had taken on that role, and he was exemplary. And you had guys like Nemanja Bjelica, who was outstanding. You had guys like Otto Porter Jr., as you mentioned. GP2 was the 15th guy off the bench that year. And thankfully, and side note, that game one loss, easy to forget, GP2 was available that game, but Steve Kerr, in his infinite wisdom, thought, we don't need him. He's not. Anyways, I guess like I pay attention, like when you look at the nuance of things, like I look at what Steve Kerr does with the little decisions which add up. I look at that season where instead of Juan Toscano-Anderson and Damian Lee getting all those chunks of minutes, you could have been giving your rookies, Kuminga and Moody, all of those minutes. It wouldn't have hurt your team, and it would have built this team towards success. Year two, though, I guess from your perspective, K. Nitty, were you disappointed that the Warriors did not repeat the next season? Because that is when I realized there's something amiss here, because the roster was in place to repeat, but the coach was obtuse. He was stubborn. He wanted to keep playing his guys.
I was disappointed, and here's where like I essentially like agree with your perspective in that I think Steve Kerr is good at what Steve Kerr is good at. The Phoenix Suns, the 8 seconds or less Phoenix Suns, they had a whole book written about the way that team revolutionized the NBA in offense. And then fast forward to today, we have a similar run and gun offense. The thing that made this team so successful was they had players who were elite at the Steve Kerr thing. So when you take Steve Kerr systems and put Steve Kerr players in a Steve Kerr system, you get magic. And when you have players who are not Steve Kerr players doing Steve Kerr things, it's not the best utilization of their talent. And as you mentioned, there are coaches like Eric Spoelstra who look at the team that he has and goes, okay, how can I maximize the talent on this team? I've got LeBron James and I've got Chris Bosh. I'm not going to run Shaq plays for these guys. We're going to figure out, hey, Chris, maybe you got to stay in the corner, and Spo has talked about, how they had to, after losing to Dallas, just reinvent what they were doing. And so Greg Popovich, there have been so many iterations of what they did in the Spurs. You had the defensive teams, and now all of a sudden the Spurs are shooting threes thinking that they're the Warriors. And so I understand that perspective, and you would like, to see a team that can have evolution where you can maximize the talent on the team. That would be a best case scenario, right? That would be great. And that's the criticisms that you have, which, I'm not going to dispute a word of that. But the only thing I wanted to do is give Steve Kerr credit for doing the Steve Kerr thing. I at least want to give him credit that his system, when his players are in his system, it does work. And that's mainly like the other point that I wanted to make.
Until it doesn't.
Until it doesn't, absolutely. Yeah. Until people turn 40 years old and break down.
I guess my pushback on that is in 2022, I didn't see a system being the primary catalyst for the Warriors win the title. Like, I look at that team and what I see is a Stephen Curry masterclass, like a season and especially a postseason that elevated him into the top 10 of all-time greatest players, right? And I saw a roster that was constructed, which was perfect because not a single player on that team represented the ego that Steve Kerr clearly has an issue with. Like, none of those other players on the team were a 1B in terms of another star, right? So you didn't have any of these distractions, which clearly now we know bothers Steve Kerr, since all he focuses on is Stephen Curry. Like, that was the perfect roster to me. You had Stephen Curry, the god, like one of the all-time greats, and you gave him 14 athletic wings, essentially. And every one of them played a certain role, and every single one of them, none of them were like alphas, right? None of them needed the ball. None of them wanted to take over games. None of them needed touches. None of them had high usage rates. It was perfect. And again, this reiterates to me what I constantly argue is, for an NBA franchise to be successful, it starts with the roster. It starts with the talent. And Jerry West always knew that. And for the people out there who want to credit Jerry West for helping to build this dynasty, it reinforces that argument. It starts with the talent and what you're putting on the floor there. And that season in 2022, it was set up for Stephen Curry. All he had to do was be Steph. And it was, and it also helped that the landscape of the NBA was perfect that year because you had no other teams with imposing size that would cause the Warriors issue. There wasn't, like, nobody was out there that year,
right?
That posed that type of challenge that we're seeing consistently now when it comes to size. It's why my one worry that year was Kevon Looney as your center, and Steve Kerr told me, dude, he is a real center. Calm down. I was like, all right, and it paid off. But every other year since then, like, size has become far more important, and Kerr just dismisses that. And the blueprint was laid out where the expectation from the front office was Kuminga and Moody taking a leap. And you can't take that leap if you're not playing. And that's where that season you had Kerr giving Anthony Lamb all those dumbass minutes, Ty Jerome getting all those dumbass minutes. Both those guys were two-way players. And for me, that's where it started to sour fast, because you had a chance at a second stage of a full dynasty, meaning just like how the Lakers won the titles from 2000 to 2003, you had some adjustments. You came back and they won two more and made three straight finals from 29 to 2012. The Warriors were set up for another run like that. But Steve Kerr had to do things his way and had to push back against the front office and go against their vision because he thought he knew best. And that's why the ego thing always bothers me about him. Like, he thinks he knows best. He walks around with that attitude. He coaches with that attitude. And from my perspective, the smartest people in this world are the people who will admit openly, I have no idea what the F anything is about. Like, none of us do. We can't explain reality. We can't predict how one person's going to act in the near future. And Steve Kerr doesn't roll like that. In Steve Kerr's mind, he thinks he has a formula that represents success. And it centers entirely around putting Stephen Curry as his son in the solar system, right? Well, that solar system was beautifully crafted in 2022. And it was beautifully crafted in 2023 until Steve Kerr decided, I'm going to play two-way guys over the young players that the front office gave me to develop and build on. And it's been a 4-year mess ever since then, dude. I wish I had your attitude, brother. You're so positive, and like the way you went back to 2022, it just brought all these great memories. My brain doesn't let me forget the negatives. I wish I could, I can't. And especially from people with power. Like if you have power in this world, that means you have privilege. And if you're granted and blessed with privilege and you're abusing that, I have an issue with that, man, because most of us in this world are not blessed with privilege. So when we get to see someone who has that privilege and they're abusing it, they're taking advantage of it, they're adding ego to it, that stinks, man. And the Warriors are my team. So Steve Kerr bugs the shit out of me for the way he runs this operation. I think it's wrong. I don't think it reflects a current model of success. And again, it goes back to you being super positive, and you're probably a way happier person than I am, brother, and I envy you.
Hey, your show has been fantastic, though. I am a happy person because I have this show in my life. But one point of nuance that I wanted to make.
Please. I love nuance.
Regarding playing time, there's a lot of emphasis on playing time.
Minutes.
Minutes. Interestingly, when Jonathan Kuminga channeled Kobe Bryant and dropped 27 the other night, he played 28 minutes? It was
24.
under 24 minutes. He played 24 minutes and was a beast. And so I don't think this is why, to me, it's not necessarily about minutes. It's about the system, the structure, the organization, because Kuminga and Kerr, they did not understand each other. So when Kuminga was out there, you documented very well. Kuminga, there were some things he was unsure of, like, what does Kerr want? Does he want me to do this? Does he want me to do that? He wasn't playing as free as he is right now in Atlanta. So now,
side note, real quick, Kevin Durant was asking those same questions.
Kevin Durant has also
bounced because of Steve Kerr.
And even at the time, Kevin Durant said that he did not like the system. He did not like some of the plays that they were running, but at the end of the day, he's still Kevin Durant. So you just don't notice when you're watching on the court. But even at the time, he spoke about not loving the way they operated. But this is why I think it's not necessarily just about minutes, because even the minutes that Kuminga had within Kerr's system, there was still a disconnect there. And now he seems much more free in Atlanta, with sometimes, still playing under 30 minutes, but it's like a pure Kuminga 30 minutes.
Well, again, that's one game, and there were plenty of games where Kuminga did not reach the 30-minute threshold of the Warriors, where he still had great games. There were also a lot of them where he did not hit that 30-minute threshold, and they weren't great games. Like Kuminga's second game, for example, with the Hawks, he did play 30 minutes. And in that game, he was very deferential, still had 17 points on 5 of 9 shooting, added 9 rebounds. Remember all the folks who used to criticize Kuminga as not being a good rebounder? Yeah, they're all quiet now. Right. I'm not gonna let one game make me come to a conclusion that the minutes weren't the issue. Because when Kuminga, again, when he played 30 minutes or more for the Warriors, the numbers were outstanding. All he needed was a coach who would just leave him out there and not yank him the first sign of something that they didn't like seeing. And that's how Kerr manages all his young players. And that's not a good way to develop talent. You can't do that. Players will not build confidence in themselves as young individuals if they don't have a coach who at least acts like they believe in them. And the only way you can act like you believe in someone is if you play them. There's really no other way. I mean, you can sit here and tell them everything you want, but words are empty, right? Talk is cheap. It's like you gotta back up what you really believe with action. And the only action a head coach can do to instill confidence in a player and show them they believe in them is play them. And every time Kuminga played 30 minutes or more, again, a winning record. It's like something like a plus 50 or something like that in net rating, 21 points a game, 6 rebounds and change a game, 41% from deep. But Steve Kerr just didn't feel it sometimes. It's infuriating to me, dude. I
agree with you on that. And last point I'm gonna make before I wrap up. I appreciate all your time this evening. I
appreciate you, man. Thank you for coming on.
From my layman perspective, I never played in the NBA or nothing like that. But when I watch the NBA, it seems that you have two types of coach. Some coaches, have both of these packages, but two types of coaches. One type who can develop players, but a lot of those coaches who develop players don't necessarily always get over the hump. And then you have coaches who are fantastic at taking a team that is turnkey and getting that team over the hump, making those adjustments with that talent in the NBA Finals. And guys like Tom Thibodeau, I think he's been great in all of his stops at taking his talent, developing those teams, getting them to a spot where they're very talented all-stars. Those teams have never quite gotten over the hump. And even that Gary Payton clip that we saw regarding Casey Jones, Gary Payton ends it by saying nothing against Casey Jones,
right?
Because Casey Jones knew how to manage a Larry Bird. But when they got George Karl, who also, had Carmelo Anthony and some of those teams,
way later,
those teams never got over the hump. When Gary Payton, he turned into a Hall of Famer, but they didn't win the title. And so that's why I do think, there is something to be said for at least those coaches who can manage the talent that is already there. Because a lot of those coaches who do develop the talent, a lot of them don't end up winning.
Well, just to give you some added perspective, the Seattle Sonics in the 90s, the team you're talking about, they did not win a championship. You're right, but
I watched those, so I know how tough that was.
Yeah, and they still did make 2 NBA finals. And if Michael Jordan did not exist,
right,
they would have probably won a chip. They probably, again, there's such an unfair era for so many players.
Exactly. There's a whole era that never won chips because of this man.
But what Gary Payton's point is, if we didn't make this change, we're not even making the finals. And again, the team was on the verge of trading him. Think about that. Think how much regret the Sonics would have to this day if they'd actually traded Gary Payton for Casey to make sure Casey Jones is happy. History would not have looked back on that fondly at all.
No, definitely not.
And side note, the Kevin Durant thing, it reminded me to go back and look up some of those old, not that old actually, some of the tweets from the burner. Get off my Dickerson. One of those supposed tweets or messages that Kevin Durant wrote, quote, Steve Kerr hasn't drawn up one play or suggested anything, but he's a 3-time champ. And that's just one of them. There was 2 more of them, right?
Which is why I only talk about the 2022.
But again, and even they could have had Kevin Durant last year. In hindsight, Kuminga for Durant. I mean, if any of us knew the alternative was Tingus Pingus, I think we all would be pretty stoked to get Kevin Durant back. Side note, this one has an N-bomb in it. Forgive me, but Kevin Durant also posted this with the Michael Irvin look, writing, I started holding Steph accountable in film, and N-bombs looked at me like this. This is not how you run a team. This is not you don't play favorites in leadership. And that's all we saw, man. But you're right, dude. 2022 was so special. And I guess my gripe is that as special as 22 was, it could have been a run. It could have been a run, dude. And I'm so peeved that 10, 20, 30 years from now, when we look back and we're talking about the all-time NBA greats, if Steph had a 5th, he'd be on Mount Rushmore of all-time NBA players. That's how big the stakes are. And that's why I'm so bitter at Steve Kerr, because all Kerr had to do was listen to the front office and follow the game plan. But no, he had to do things his way. And his way has resulted in 4 years of underachievement, disappointment, and sure as shit, no championships, man. And that's my peeve. Is you're right, 2022 is unbelievable, but since then, what the hell have we done, man? And this is Kerr's show since then, and it's just, again, DNP, play-in tournaments year after year, a team with Steph and Curry on it, and you can't get out of the conference semis. I wish I had your attitude, man.
I am resigned to where we're at right now and still supporting the team. But I'll be honest, anytime I see a Minnesota Timberwolves game and Anthony Edwards is on the court, I got to turn the TV off, just knowing what could have been. That's still a sore spot. But anyway, you have a good night, Si.
Before you go, and here's hold on. There's one more. Here's another one where Kevin Durant was talking about Steve Kerr. And again, man, look, I know Kevin Durant is not exactly someone we want to use as a prime example of where it went wrong with Steve Kerr, but it's not a good look either, dude. If Steve Kerr was this great coach, how could you not? Your entire job is just managing the roster, and you couldn't even manage Steph and KD together. He also wrote this: since Michael Jordan punched Kerr in the face, he does not F with, I don't want to say that out loud, but if you can see it on the screen, you can see it.
But I will say, though, again, in Kerr's defense, he did drive Draymond Green to go full KD on you without even using a burner account. He had to stick up for his coach. If that's not a superpower as described in ESPN, then I don't know what more proof we need.
Before you go, okay, Nick, because you have you're so positive, and I something tells me you'd be a damn fun person to party with. What are your thoughts? And I'm only reminded of this because the best ever in our chat is comedy. What are your thoughts on the fact that Kerr named his son Nicholas?
I do wonder I wonder at what point, like the naming conventions, like we're started to matriculate. Is it like during the pregnancy, or is it afterward? And did anyone mention it? But hey, it's a beautiful name. A lot of people are named Nicholas, and it's.
So, are you comfortable? Well, you know what if you shorten Nicholas, a lot of people are called Nick, right? And if you're a smart person, I don't know I hope you agree with me on this. If you're an intelligent person and you name your child Nicholas, you're going to have in your thought process think people will call him Nick, right?
Oh, well, you just got to correct people if Nick is not your name and it's fully Nicholas. Like a Jimmy Butler, for example. Some people confuse that with thinking his name is James. He even had to correct his coach out in Philly. He's like, no, sir, my name is not James. I am
right.
Jimmy.
But my point is, you also, I'm sure you're aware of just how shitty so many people in this world are, and you're putting your kid in a school setting where if you shorten his name to Nick and you say his last name after that really fast, like, are you going to say that really fast?
I mean, Joseph probably would have been my thought. You have a Joe Kerr. That probably would have been my pick. But I'm sure what the family did was a name that was very sentimental and special to them.
I don't know. I'm waiting for someone to bring that up. It's kind of wild that no one's.
You said you have credentials to go to the pregame.
Yeah, I don't want to lose those credentials. I think my reputation is. I think I can safely say my reputation is that of a huge Kerr detractor. So when I'm in those settings, I have to be as professional as anybody can be, like dotting your I's, crossing your T's. And so, no, if I'm going to get one question for Steve Kerr and I bring up his son's name, I think I'd lose my credential. I think that would be the safe way for me to be banned from the media section. So I can't be that guy. It's got to be someone that has a full-time credential, not someone that gets single in-game credentials. And it's got to be one of the full-timers because they can survive a hit like that. I could not.
So you go hard in the paint about the way this go along to get along media just doesn't want to ask the tough questions. You've got this burning question that you've asked every guest on your show, and then when it comes time to, hey, you know what? Yeah, that's a great question. You have access to this now. It's come on, I know you got thicker skin than that,
but it's like the why. Like, why would you do that? Like why? That's the part that still drives me crazy. Like, what was going through your mind? Like, did you honestly not think about how it would sound if you named your child Nicholas and people call Nicholas Nick? How do you? It's just weird to me.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, yeah. I mean, I'm sure you'll get the great answers with that investigative mind. You are a journalism professor. I mean, you know how to ask the tough questions.
Yeah, but you need access to the source to ask those tough questions, and I don't want to jeopardize my access. That's a responsibility that has to fall on like a Marcus Thompson or a Anthony Slater. It's got to be one of those guys, and it's got to be in a weird setting where you just have to time it right. Where maybe it's like in the middle of an interview and the conversation happens to steer toward family. Then you could kind of like subtly go, hey, by the way, just out of curiosity, like, why did you name your son Nicholas? Where did that come from? Like, I think that's the only way you can get that answer out of him.
You know what? Okay, forget the sign behind the bench. I think we need to set up a GoFundMe to fund you to answer this question, to ask Steve Kerr this question. I'm sure there is a price. There is an amount that GoFundMe would get to get you to ask that question to his face. Okay. So for this is my last thing. I wasn't gonna bring this up, but I see I have it on my notes here of things to mention. I wasn't okay, but
I like that.
Common noun, the Hansies, not a verb. Like you turned Hansies into a verb. Like no, like we're gonna Hansi. That's a verb.
You're right. That is a noun. You're right. No, you're right. I stand corrected.
Anyway, neither
You're right.
here
No,
nor
I didn't even
there.
think about it. I just started saying verb and I never even put thought into it. I wish someone had said that sooner because I feel like I've been making this mistake for I don't know how many days now.
You said it so many times.
You're right. You're right. It's a noun. 100%.
Anyways, but
person, place, or thing. No, 100%. Yeah, I'm with you.
Still looking okay. Well, you have a good night, though.
Thank you for the correction. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. Come back soon, all right? I feel like this show needs more of your positivity. Please come back.
Yeah, all right. I'll try to come on next time. It's not my bedtime.
Please do. Have a great night. Have a great
night.
night.
The other time I was going to try to come on was the show on Sunday, but then you said, "Hey, okay, everybody, do not argue with me today. It is too early."
12:30 tips. 12:30 tips.
Yeah.
That's a rough one. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's kind of rough. Yeah, it's a little. And of course, I still had people arguing with me, and I decided to just wave a white flag that day. That was the game when Podziemski dropped that insane fourth quarter too.
Yeah.
So that's why I prefaced as well, like because the 12:30 starts, man. That is crazy to me. Anyways, K-Nitty, you're awesome, brother. Thank you very much. Some paid chats here, and then we'll bring on. I think Cam is going to finish up. Unless Chardal is with us tonight. Some paid chats, a lot of them. Shit, I'm sorry. Let me get to these real fast. We already read this one. Yes. OMG Manny, love you. Thank you. Golden Dazer for a year and change. The Family Man dropping $1.99 saying, need to get on that chat and give you your flower. Oh, that's okay. Thank you. Thank you, brother. That's very kind of you. You deserve a round of applause for that one.
You like the juice, eh?
You like the juice. J Doe dropping $4.99. Thank you, sir or miss. It may be best for Steph to do like the other OGs and go to a young contending team in hopes for one last push at a chip. I guess it depends on what his priorities are, because everything I've heard in terms of what his priorities are behind the scenes is that the fifth title is not as important to him as what he's made it out to be publicly. And what's more important to him is being a Warriors lifer. I just wish we I guess what I really wish is somebody would ask Steph and or Draymond for some clarity on Kerr and the minutes, just so we have it in the open and there's no ambiguity behind this. There's no confusion of any kind, because a lot of people still support Kerr largely because they think Steph enables him and like confers with him routinely to for these big decisions, when everything I hear it tells me that's not the case. But until it's public, nobody can know for like 100% sure. So I just wish someone would bring that up and be like, Steph, like, what is your involvement in situations like the Kuminga DNPs? What is your involvement with it? Like, are you the reason why Brandon Podziemski leads this team in minutes? Like, what is your involvement in all that? I just want to hear him come out and say, that's the coach's job. But nobody ever asked him that. Now, with that said, again, I think he's going to be a Warriors lifer. I hope he is. I think you can have him as a lifer and try to construct a roster around him that makes you competitive. And the only young contending team I could think of, if we're going to go down that rabbit hole, is Charlotte. Just trade him to the Hornets, just because, again, he's from there. So the transition would be easy, and they have a lot of assets. If you can get like just one or two of those players back, I mean, they're not going to trade Con Knipple, not even for Steph, but I don't know, LaMelo Ball, Brandon Miller, shoot for the stars. I mean, if Steph still has that kind of value, and again, if that's what he wants, sure. And then Blue Jay, $1.99. Ooh, I like that. Saying the 2022 coaching credit goes to Mike Brown. Which, again, there's two monumental things that happened, which really were the death knell for the dynasty. Like a nice shiv right in between your ribs, or right in the back even. Oh, and you're just like, one is Mike Brown leaving. Mike Brown was hugely influential as an assistant coach. And again, I've said this before, and I don't mind saying it again. He is the type of guy who sleeps in his office. Like his couch is a bed, and he lives and breathes basketball. Whereas Steve Kerr clocks out at a specific time, clocks in at a specific time, cares about shit like White Lotus and fantasy basketball. Only thing Mike Brown cares about is hoops. That's it. So yeah, they're missing him since he left. And again, the Draymond punch, they never recovered from that. And it wasn't, and I still maintain it was not the punch itself that led to the demise of the Warriors. It was how Kerr handled it. Meaning, instead of unifying that locker room after an incident like that, which clearly affected Jordan Poole far more than anyone else. Like, Jordan Poole is still resentful of Draymond for that. And if Steve Kerr had put his foot down and been a good leader and held Draymond accountable instead of doing literally nothing, just like how Joe Lacob does literally nothing to hold Steve Kerr accountable, maybe they could have rectified that situation. But they didn't do shit. Dre was let off the hook, and it was never addressed. And as we learn more and more about Steve Kerr, the head coach, we know he's not a good communicator. He doesn't, he clearly, which is wild to me as an NBA head coach, you think interpersonal communication, which just means verbally talking with someone else. You'd think that would be a priority for a head coach in terms of communication styles. But Kerr's a texter. Like he doesn't talk to his players. He texts them. It's like the most passive aggressive shit imaginable. Not to mention, it's like, are you a millennial? Like, you're 60 years old, dude. Like, what are you doing? Why are you not talking to your players? Like, and he doesn't talk to them. He just texts, and all he does is he texts and will show unequivocal support for Stephen Curry and Draymond Green. And that is where the demise started. And it's just, and all I see in terms of evidence with Kerr is just negative after negative after negative. And if you're casually observing this team, yeah, you keep going back to the good days, 2022, or the fact that they have 4 championships while he's been the head coach without paying any attention to nuance or his style of leadership or his actions or all the mistakes he makes, which is a shitload. There's a plethora of them. But good post. Fire Kerr. We'll wrap it up unless Chardall is in the house. How are you doing?
What's up? How you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing all right, Cam. Is this you?
Yep. How you doing, man? Appreciate you doing your thing on the
dude.
GoFundMe.
So what game are you aiming for? I haven't had a chance to really look at the here. Let's look at it now. So in case folks are curious and they don't know, Cam, you are spearheading this GoFundMe. And the goal is to have an actual real fan at Chase Center to grill Steve Kerr, whether it's with booze. It's just,
and now we got to grill Joe Lacob too. I was gonna leave Lacob alone, but he got to get it too for trading Kuminga for.
I know, dude. So here's what you write on your GoFundMe: save Curry's legacy. Kerr must be fired. He is ruining Curry's chance for 6 to 7 rings. My goal is to get a seat right behind Kerr and the team and simply yell the truth about Kerr's terrible coaching decisions, small ball, horrible lineups and rotations, pulling players when they're on a heater, ruining their momentum, playing players out of position, causing injuries. That's a hell of a list, by the way. He must be stopped. Send me to the game to bring national awareness to this travesty. I love it. What's your goal here? Like, how much money are you aiming for?
The tickets are usually like about 1,600 and up to get right. That's not right behind Kerr. That's a little behind Kerr. I ain't even looked at what's really behind it. And while I'm thinking about it, you know why I think the national media don't speak about Kerr?
Besides being friends with him?
Because they know if Curry gets a competent coach, he will destroy the league once again, and can't nobody stop Curry if he gets a good coach that knows what to do with him and his team.
Maybe.
That's the only thing that makes sense to me.
Maybe.
They don't want Curry to run the league like he did when he was killing the whole league.
Are you worried about the knee thing, man? The fact that he still hasn't played freaks me out. What are your thoughts on that?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Well, I can hear you for that moment, but you haven't answered the question. Like, are you freaking out about Steph and the runner's knee still being a massive issue? See, now I can't hear you.
Yo.
Yeah, now you're back. What are your thoughts on Steph and the runner's knee? And we lost. Well, regardless, that is the that right there is the GoFundMe. And I'm going to be campaigning for that every day until we get to the end of the season. Cam, are you back? Cam. All right. Well, let's get to the scoreboard. Other games were played today in the National Basketball Association. Want to also check on the standings, see where we are. Here's some good news. I kid you not, man. I really thought for a second there that today was Sunday. Those are some damn good surprises to have in life when you suddenly realize, oh, wait, it's Saturday? What?
All right, let's just stay calm here. Don't get all crazy on me.
Yeah, do not. It's still Saturday. All right. We're going to wrap up the show with the Danger Zone. Cam, we support you. That is the QR code right there. Without further ado, even if it means we lose some listeners, that's how loyal we are to Chardal. And he's an acquired taste. For those of you that constantly stick it out, he'll grow on you. And then you'll eventually come to understand and appreciate the value that this special human being brings to the table. Without further ado, let's get into the Danger Zone.
Stay at home, son.
You didn't play my intro.
Chardal, you were talking over it.
Can you just play it and then I'll do my intro?
Why do you do that sometimes? Like, are you really not seeing it?
I'm not seeing it.
Is it because I bring you in as I'm playing it?
You bring.
Stay at home, son.
There you go. How are you doing, buddy?
Hi, Sai. I'm doing great. How are you doing on this Saturday night?
Doing okay. I'm actually,
as the Los
really
Angeles Lakers suffer a 129-101 loss to the goal as the Los Angeles Lakers
you okay,
dismantle. I need to do my intro again. As the Los Angeles Lakers dismantle the Golden State Warriors by a final score of 129-101 from Chase Center in downtown San Francisco, California. What were your thoughts on the game tonight? I know it was a brutal performance by the Warriors. I mean, this was as a Warriors fan, I'm heartbroken. I was expecting that we'd beat the Lakers tonight.
I was expecting that too. Well, no, actually it wasn't. But I wasn't expecting a blowout like this. The Warriors shooting just 27.3% from beyond the arc, 12 of 44. I think that was the story of the game. But Liski Santos got a contract extension. I love me some Gooey.
I mean, Gooey Santos is one of the greatest players on this Warriors roster, and I'm so happy that he got a three-year contract extension to stay with the Dubs.
Yeah, that's good news.
How excited are you for Gooey Santos to stay with the Dubs for the duration of the Warriors season?
I love the Gooey. I'll take all the Gooey you give me. I'll give back all the Gooey that you want.
You like the juice, eh?
Like the juice, I like the Gooey. Do you like the Gooey?
I love the Gooey.
Excellent. Are you ready to go through the scores?
I'm ready to go. So I'm gonna be going. I'm gonna be going ballroom. I'm gonna be taking dance. I'm gonna be going dancing. This Tuesday, March 3rd.
Just for the sake of it, or is there like a competition? Or what are we talking?
No, dance. I'm taking a lesson.
Oh, okay. It's back to lessons. I thought you did the lessons every week.
I do it every alternate Tuesday.
Every other week. Okay, gotcha. And your dance instructors are totally fine with you grinding up on them. And And they have no problem with that, right?
have
Even if you're grinding on them and they feel they're cool with that.
They're cool with that.
Wow. It's almost like you're at a strip club in this how old are your dance instructors?
They're over 30.
Under 40?
Under 40.
There you go. Okay. Some wifey material right there, maybe, right?
Some wifey material.
Are you ready to go over some scores?
Why did you make me say that?
I didn't make you say anything.
You made me say wifey material.
You didn't have to repeat me. I said that. Are you ready to go through some scores?
I'm ready to go over the scoreboard and wrap up the show for tonight.
Did you join 95.7 The Game tonight?
I joined 95.7 The Game tonight. I called in. I accidentally swear it on air, and I'm afraid I'll get cut off from calling to shows on 95.7 The Game.
Well, first of all, Simon too in the chat saying don't pass Julian. I don't know what that means. Riz is Riz accurate, Shardall? Do you ever dance on a pole?
I don't dance on a pole.
I didn't think so. I did not think so.
So I might get banned from calling into the radio station.
What did you say?
I said I cursed live on the air, and I might not be allowed to call into the radio station ever again.
What did you curse? What did you say? You can say it here.
I said effing shit show.
But you actually said it out loud, the whole thing?
I said the whole thing out loud.
Was it Mark Grandy or Evan Giddens who was
Mark Grandy pressed the dump button and he dumped me off from the show.
That's a shame.
And I was calling to 95.7 The Game, and I was showing, and everybody in the chat they really liked that I was fed up with the Warriors losing to the Lakers, and they said that he always brings the fire into the chat. When you go to 95.7 Game, when you look in the live chat, everybody's giving me so much confidence that we love him when he brings the fire. Like when he makes it, like when he gets pissed off, he starts bringing it. They really love that. They really love that when they hear me bring the fire, because they think that it's very entertaining for them to do that.
Well, that's why you close every show we do here. Say the whole thing. What was tonight's game like for you?
The Los Angeles Lakers take down the Golden State Warriors by a final score 129 to 101, as this game was a fucking shit show.
There we go, buddy! Woo! Good stuff. Thank you for giving us the heat. And notice how we appreciate it.
I love bringing the heat.
Hell yeah, dude.
And I love that you made me do that on the show, because I want to bring the heat.
You're crazy, man. You're crazy.
And Mark Grandy is not, and after saying that, I'm currently banned from ever calling into 95.7 ever again.
Well, you just said a moment ago you hope you're not banned. Now you're telling me you.
No, he gave me one. He gave me one. I've been giving one warning, and then if it happens repeatedly, if I repeatedly do it, then he's gonna ban me from the radio station. I won't be able to call in ever again.
All right, so you got a warning. You're not banned.
I made a mistake. Why did Mark Grandy get so? Why did he get so like? Why did he say? I just made a mistake, and then even professional athletes swear, on news reporters swear, and then why did he tell me? Am I special? Because all these professional news reporters on the air are swearing because maybe they're fed up with something, or something came their way and they're trying to get the anger out. Why did he tell that to me? I feel like he's attacking me. I'm like, dude, my Warriors just got slaughtered by the Lakers. You're not gonna let me voice my opinion? Come on, Mark Grandy. My Warrior just got slaughtered by the Lakers, and you're not gonna let me speak my mind and what I think? Like, what is wrong with you, Mark Grandy? You get off the air. I hope Mark Grandy gets off the air. I hope he gets fired from 95.7 The Game. Evan Giddings gonna be running the show. I don't want to see that guy ever again. That's why I hate Mark Grandy. I bet if I go on Evan Giddings, I swear on him, when he's there, he'll be fine with me doing. He'll say, go ahead, dude. It's you're angry. Go ahead and do it. Evan Giddings will be more okay with me swearing on when he's on the air. Evan Giddings. Because Evan Giddings is a nice guy. If I swear when Evan Giddings is on, he'll be like, "Go ahead and do whatever you want to do. You want to voice your opinion? Go ahead and do whatever you want. Do what you want to do."
But when Mark Grandy
Say whatever Mark Grandy says, I'm pressing the dump button and I'm dumping you for tonight.
Just for tonight, it's okay. But he gave you a pass. You'll be allowed back.
But I'm afraid if I do it ever again.
Well, then don't do it.
No, see, I can't control what comes out of my mouth.
Let me ask you something here. Someone in the chat.
That's the problem I do. You know, whenever I say something, I can't control it.
Yeah, Berto.
I'm not gonna control it.
Berto is saying 95.7 is a diva.
They're being a diva for me swearing on their radio station.
And look, I think Cemetery might have nailed it. All you got to do is tell them.
I don't have Tourette's. I don't have Tourette's.
No, he's saying lie. He's saying lie and tell them you have Tourette's, so that if they decide to censor you, now they're discriminating against someone with a disability.
I have a disability.
Just tell them that exactly.
They're discriminating. They're discriminating against me.
That's what Cemetery Larry is saying. And side note, Cemetery Larry.
Can you have my back, please?
Hold on.
Anytime Mark Randy says anything to me on 95.7,
if someone calls themselves Cemetery Larry,
can you back me? Can you have my back, please?
What's up?
Can you have my back?
Always. But
please. If they come at me again, can you please tell them to stop attacking my boy?
I don't know if they'll listen to me, but happily I will do
that.
No,
can you please tell them to stop attacking? Stop attacking me.
Okay.
Because I love you, and you're always gonna have my back, always.
Thank you, brother. Shardal, Cemetery Larry. Does that person work at a cemetery?
He doesn't work at a cemetery.
So why the name? Is it just because it rhymes?
Just because it rhymes.
Okay. Oh, it's Larry Hoods. Okay. What do you have?
I was so heartbroken.
All right.
I was so heartbroken.
Cemetery Larry. Don't be
Mark
heartbroken.
Randy just cut me. Mark Randy just cut me off.
You'll be back. It was just one night. I know he was.
What happens if he's not allowed? What happens if he doesn't allow me next time I try calling it? He doesn't let me on. What do I do?
Then let's escalate. All right.
No, but what happens if he doesn't let me on?
For now, you got the warning.
But I'm scared. What happens if he doesn't let me on when I call in next time for the Warriors? On 95.7 the game, when I try calling into the radio station, what happens if he says, "Go to hell"? You're not welcome on my show ever again. Go to hell.
I don't know what to tell you about that, man. I mean, look,
no,
life will go on.
But what if he does do that?
Life will go on. You'll be okay.
I'm glad I'm not in a. See, I'm afraid that what I did on the radio station, it's kind of like if you go to a professional arena environment and you curse if you curse and there's little kids watching around, that's way more serious, because on radio station it's just Mark Grandy and some other people. That's it. If you go to a professional environment where there's kids are walking around, there's all these parents walking around, it's gonna be more a bigger deal. It's because ushers are walking and they're looking at your behavior, they're assessing what behavior this guy has. Then that's when it becomes more serious. When you actually go to
I'm
Warriors.
mad at everything, man. You know, brother got a nice car, man. Why you got a car, man? I only got one car. Why you got 3 cars or a wife or all that, man? That's played out, man. I hate on it till he's totally broke.
I'm so
and ain't
sad.
got nothing like me. You know what I'm saying? Because yeah,
What
that's what
should
real
I
hating
do
is
if
all
he doesn't
about,
let
man.
me on next time? What do I do? See, you can clearly see it from my voice, my tone of my voice that really hurt me.
I know.
Mark Grandy pressed the dump button.
Let's talk about something else for tonight, and let's look. I wouldn't worry about it. I think you're.
No, but you're a great guy.
Thank you, brother. So are you.
And you always help. You always support me.
Well, I try to be open-minded about things, unless your name is Steve Kerr.
No, my name is not Steve Kerr.
I'm over it. Let's go through the association.
Are you ready? Let's go over the association. Go over the scoreboard. Wrap up the show for the night.
All right, we're going to start with Stephen Curry's next team, the Charlotte Hornets. I'm kidding, being facetious. Hopefully he goes nowhere. The Hornets victorious tonight, hosting the Portland Trailblazers. 109-93 the final. This was in Charlotte. The Hornets now just a game below 500 at 30-31. The Blazers dropped to 29-32. Brandon Miller, future Golden State Warrior, 26 points, 8 rebounds on the win. Drew Holiday, 25 points in the loss.
I'm going to be doing the Santa Cruz Warriors are playing the San Diego Clippers tomorrow, March 1st at 1 p.m. I'm going to be doing I'm planning to do a live stream for that game. Do you want to listen? I could send you the live stream to your channel, and you got on the second.
Yeah, send it to me. Send it to me.
And do you want to listen to me how I call a G League game? I normally call NBA Golden State Warriors games. I've never called a G League game before. Do you want to hear my play-by-play commentary for Santa Cruz Warriors game?
Sure.
You think that because I normally call Warriors games normally. I don't call G League games. No, but I'm gonna call one, so you'll be pretty surprised. I'm gonna call one of them. Are you gonna be impressed if when you hear my play-by-play?
I will be impressed if you let me get through these scores. Are you ready?
Let's because it's late. Let's go over the remaining scores, and we'll end the show on a positive note.
Beautiful. The Miami Heat, an upset win tonight in Miami. They beat the Houston Rockets 115-105. The final. Bam Adebayo, 24 points, 11 rebounds in the win. Kevin Durant, 32 points, 8 assists in the loss. The Heat improving to 32-29. The Rockets dropping to 37-22. Only 2 more games, Chardal. This is going to be a short scoreboard tonight. The Toronto Raptors.
Normally there's more scores for the scoreboard, but today there's only 4 scores today.
It's Saturday, so yeah, Saturdays are usually quite.
But which ones are longer? Which score? When is it? For the scoreboard, when is it longer? Like these are only 4 games on the four
which
scores.
Day?
Which day are they more scores? So we can have a longer show. Today it's a quick show today. Only 4 scores.
Had a hair in my tongue. I would guess Wednesday. I think feels like the super long day, but I don't know. That's a good question. I think Wednesdays and Mondays, those typically are chock full of games. But good question. 2 more games to read to you here. The Raptors, 134-125 winners tonight over the Washington Wizards in the nation's capital. Emmanuel Quickley, 27 points, 11 assists in the win. And I think W. Riley is Will Riley. Let me confirm that real fast. Yeah, Will Riley of the Wizards, their top performer and leading scorer with 19 points in the game from the Rook. The Wizards dropping to 18-43. The Raptors 35-25. And last but not least, the Pelicans beating the Jazz tonight, 115-105. Sadiq Bey, who's been on fire lately, a player that the Warriors could have had. 24 a couple years back. They traded James Wiseman and briefly had Sadiq Bey and then moved him again in a 4-team trade where they got Gary Payton II back when they could have had GP2 along for free. But that's how things have been.
If you look at the score, if you look at the standings between if you look at the who played the Jazz played the Pelicans.
Yes, and Isaiah
So if you
Collier.
look at both standings between the Pelicans and the Jazz, they're 1 win apart.
Correct. Yeah.
The Jazz are 19-42. Pelicans are 18-42. There's a 1 win difference between both teams.
Correct. A half game difference. Yeah.
Is that very surprising that both teams are 1? If the Pelicans win 1 game, the Jazz and the Pelicans would have the same record, 19-42. Is that true? If the Pelicans win 1 game, they'll be the same record as Utah Jazz, 19-42.
Other way around.
No, Jazz are 19-42. I'm saying if the Pelicans win 1 game, the Pelicans are 18-42.
Other way around, buddy. Take another look.
No, if the Jazz win 1 game, then the
Jazz
Pelicans
win 1 game, yes.
Then the Pelicans and the Jazz will have the same record.
Correct. Isaiah Collier, 21.7 assists in the loss. The Jazz dropping to 18-42, as Chardal mentioned. The Pelicans improving to 19-42, also as Chardal mentioned. And we look at the standings.
So the Utah Jazz have to win 1 game, and then they're tied with the Pelicans. That's what I meant.
Correct.
To say.
Correct.
Not the other way around. Not the other way around.
You're correct. And we get to look at a nice graphic here for the standings. So we can see the Warriors. Let me fix this graphic real fast. There we go. Forgive me. I'm lagging. I'm sorry. Okay, here we go. There we go. There's our standings. So the Warriors have been the 8th seed for what feels like the entire year. They're 3 games back of Phoenix for the 7th seed in the loss column. They are 3 games ahead of the Portland Trailblazers for the 9 seed in the loss column. And weirdly, they were just 2 games ahead of the Clippers, who are the 10 seed in the loss column. That's because the wins are funky a little bit there. Shardal, what do you think is going to happen ultimately in the standings?
So where are the Warriors currently right now in the standings?
Right here, number 8.
So the Warriors are going to stay the 8th seed and they're going to play Phoenix. So the 7th and 8th. So basically in the standings, the Warriors will play Phoenix, right? For the 7th and 8th seed will play.
The game,
and then the 9th, and then the 9th and 10th.
In Phoenix.
And then the 9th and 10th will play. The Portland and Los Angeles Clippers will play for the 9th seed, or what will they play for?
They play to play. The winner of the 9 and 10 seed plays the loser of 7-8.
So how does it work again? I don't know. I'm not that. You know more about this than I do.
I can literally visualize you trying to figure this out.
You know about this stuff more than I do. I'm not very much.
I love you, man.
Educated in these stuff.
You're good. So Phoenix is the 7th seed right now. If the season ended today, the Phoenix Suns would host the Golden State Warriors. The winner of that game is the 7th seed. Or so let's say Phoenix wins, right? Phoenix will go into the playoffs as the 7th seed. The loser of that game, so let's say the Warriors lose, right? The Warriors will get a second chance, one more chance, and they would play the winner of the 9-10 game. Does that make sense?
That makes a lot more sense. You're explaining it very, very, very eloquently, and I really appreciate that.
Hey, well, I hope so.
You're a very, very eloquent speaker. I went to the San Jose State Spartans had a basketball game today. They had teacher appreciation night. They didn't pick you?
Because I teach
remotely. How dare they don't pick you? You're the best professor. You have a YouTube channel. You cover the Warriors. How did they not pick you?
Thank you.
They could have picked 4 teachers that they could have picked, and they didn't pick you as one of them.
And I'm only teaching.
I'm so upset about that because I love you.
I'm not on their radar at all. Thank you.
I love you so much, and you should have been one of those 4 teachers who were appreciated at the San Jose State men's basketball game.
You're all one of them, by the way. Thank you very much. So this is where
you're so inspirational, and next time I'm gonna write an email and say that how dare you didn't pick Cy to become one of the 4 teachers for Teacher Appreciation Night. And I will write them a demanding letter.
Okay, thank you.
And I will burn them to the ground.
So the Warriors next play the Clippers on Monday, and that game is at Chase Center. Who knows if Kristaps Porzingis will be available? Stephen Curry, 99% certain he's not going to be available. So what's your? There's still no line on that. I'm just looking at the sportsbook again. I'm going to do a.
So the Warriors versus Clippers game, is that happening in Chase Center?
Correct.
I hope the Warriors do not repeat the same debacle that they did last time when the Clippers played the Warriors, and then they had that call, and then the whole game went on its side. Remember that game when they had the goaltending call, and then they screwed up? It was a massive screw up. Remember that?
Yes.
You remember that game when when Steve Kerr got irate? He got so mad and he started running up and down the court. Hopefully that doesn't happen again against Clippers. If that happens again, there's going to be some massive talking points being discussed there. Because I hope that doesn't happen again.
If there's an
who knows, that might happen again, right? That thing that happened with Clippers and Warriors, it might happen again.
Unpredictable.
Steve Kerr might get irate. He might get mad and pissed off and run.
Here's what I do know. The Clippers play tomorrow, and they're playing at home. They're hosting the Pelicans. They're 8.5-point favorites, courtesy of FanDuel. So the good news for the Warriors is they're going to have a Clippers team coming in on the second of a back-to-back, and that is advantageous. That's all I have for you. Yeah.
Yeah. So my final.
Darius
score...
here's another one, real quick. One last little tidbit. Darius Garland might make his Clippers debut Monday night.
Hey, isn't it kind of surprising that the San Diego Warrior, the Santa Cruz Warriors are playing the San Diego Clippers, which is the G League affiliate of the Clippers in Chase Center, and then one day after they play the same team, which is the NBA team, against Clippers. So are you pretty surprised about that they're playing the G League team one day before, and then one day after they're playing the actual Los Angeles Clippers at Chase Center? So both games are happening in Chase Center. Are you pretty surprised about that?
I can't believe it. It's
you can't believe that both games are happening.
How about I'm mind blown.
I won't be streaming the Santa Cruz Warriors versus San Diego Clippers game tomorrow, but when I come on March 2nd, I'll bring that up to talk about that because they're both playing they're both playing against the Clippers G League team and the NBA team. Can I bring that up when we talk on March 2nd when we play LA? Can I bring a little bit about the G League game a little bit?
I'm stunned that the next game is going to be on March 2nd. We're done with February.
No, I'm saying when I come on March 2nd for the Warriors and Clippers post-game show, can I bring a little bit about the G League game? Talk about it a little bit because it goes well, right? It's only one day apart, so it goes well. It's not going to be awkward to talk about the G League game when I come on the post-game show for Warriors and Clippers.
It won't be
because
awkward.
they both
Let's get out of here. Say goodbye to everyone so we can go.
So viewers, make sure to subscribe to the SGS Sports Talk channel. I'm at 531 subscribers. I'm on the road to 600. Make sure to subscribe to Sai's YouTube channel. He's at 5,200, 800 subs away from 6,000.
I'm still at 5,000. Like I haven't gained a single one.
You're still at 5,200.
I haven't gained a single sub since last show.
You haven't gained a single sub from last show.
Well, that's not a good sign.
That's
what the Warriors being a shitty team will do to your program.
They will not give you a single. You haven't gotten a single subscriber from that. You're stuck at 5,200.
I don't like that news. Please subscribe. Please hit the like button.
So I'll give you my score. I'll give you my score.
That's not cool at all. What's up?
I'll give you my score prediction.
Okay.
I'm going Santa Cruz Warriors 125, San Diego Clippers 100, and then on March 2nd, I'm going Golden State Warriors 145, Los Angeles Clippers 125.
I still can't believe we haven't gained a single sub in 3 days.
You haven't gained a single sub from last show. You haven't. You're still stuck at 5,200. Like I'm still stuck at 531 subscribers.
No, you gained one from the last time you came on.
But now I'm stuck at. But I've gained one, but now I'm stuck at 531. I haven't gained any subscribers from today.
A little bummed.
So both of us haven't gained a subscriber from last show. From last show, I gained one, but after that, I haven't gained any.
God damn. This is what happens, Charlotte, when the Warriors suck.
This is what happens when the Warriors suck. They're not gonna give me or you any more subscribers.
That's disappointing.
So how's it disappointing?
Because
Warriors lost, so it should be disappointing because the Warriors lost to the Lakers, so it should be disappointing that we haven't got any more subscribers.
Yeah, a little bit. Oh well.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
But I'll see you on March 2nd for the Golden State Warriors and Los Angeles Clippers post-game show. I'm always the closer. It's great that you make me the closer. I'll see you on the 2nd of March. Viewers, thanks for supporting me and Sai. Viewers, make sure to click the like button, smash the subscribe button, ring that notification bell for Sai and Golden Days in reference to the 1993 Matthew McConaughey movie, Dazed and Confused, and also subscribe to the SGA Sports Talk channel. I'm at 531 subscribers. I'm on the road to 600. I'll see you on March 2nd for the Warriors and Clippers postgame show. I'll see you on Monday. It's great supporting you and being here on Golden Days as a closer. I'll see you on Monday. See you later. Bye.
Oh, and before you go, what's your message to Mark Grande?
Mark Grande,
do you want me to say it for you?
Can you please?
You.
That was for me, not from Shardle. Did you not like that?
I love that.
Here's a nicer one.
Oh, hey, you.
That's a nicer one. So Mark, don't mess with my boy. Take it easy.
He made me upset today.
By the way, what are you looking at? Because Really Dub says the sub count on our page is at 5.21. That means 5,210 or 100 or 5,210.
5,002. He's at 500. He's at 5,210 subscribers. So he's on the road to 6,000. I love that you're supporting my guy Sai. I love that you're giving all the love and support. I'll see you on March 2nd. Warriors, Clippers.